A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Johnson Wax program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Presenting Fibber, McGee, and Molly in their first program of their 9th year for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. Written by Don Quinn with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. How many of you, hearing Fibber, McGee, and Molly regularly in your living room, realize that this program is also being heard by a great many of your boys out there in service, way over in Africa, in India, New Guinea, Guadalcanal. It reaches them by means of shortwave radio, and I can tell you it's a thrill to read the letters that come in from them occasionally. Like these few lines from one of our fighter pilots in the South Seas, written after a furious air battle. Quote, "For a time it was tough going. They never stopped coming. Then tonight, we turned on the radio and heard Fibber, McGee, and Molly. I wonder if you understand how much their humor meant to us. For a little while, we could forget. It was like a blessed interval of sanity in a siege of violent madness," unquote. And another boy wrote, "It bridges the gap of thousands of miles, forming a link with our homeland," unquote. We on the show and the makers of Johnson's Wax are grateful for these letters. They raise an obligation that we do not take lightly. I bet you if you had an uncle who was a historical character, and he was going to be glorified on a radio program in exactly 11 and a half minutes, I bet you'd be pretty excited, too. And that's why there's so much to do and hey and oh boy and whatnot around 79 Wistful Vista tonight as we meet Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
What time is it, Molly? What time is it?
Oh, we have 10 minutes yet, McGee. Sit down, calm yourself.
Well, gee whiz.
Heavenly days, it's only a radio program.
Yeah, but gee whiz. It's going to be all about Uncle Sycamore, who fought in the Indian Wars and got scalped and was a hero and knew Kit Carson and Buffalo Bill as well as I know you. Better, even.
How could he know them better?
Well, you're still a mystery to me.
Oh.
How you can make our ration points come out even every month has got me baffled. What time is it now? What time is
Well,
it?
it's still 9 minutes before the program, and stop biting your nails.
Well, gee whiz.
Hadn't you better turn on the radio and let it warm up?
I don't dare. I worked all day getting it fixed again, and I don't want to turn it on before I have to. What time is it now?
Oh,
What time is it?
calm yourself.
Huh?
Calm yourself. You're as jumpy as a 1912 movie. What did your Uncle Sycamore ever do that he was such a hero?
What do you mean, what did he do? Why, he was one of the greatest characters ever knew in the Wild West. I ever tell you about the time he won 14 buffalo hides, a barrel of corn meal, and a mule from Kitty Carson in a wrestling match?
You mean Kit Carson.
This was Kitty Carson, Kit's sister. My Uncle Syc... Hey, what time is it, Molly?
We
What
have
time?
7 minutes yet before the program.
Oh, gee whiz.
Incidentally, McGee, where is your Uncle Sycamore now?
Last I heard of him, he was trying to get into the Marines.
The Marines?
Yeah.
Why, your uncle must be 90 years old by now.
Yeah, that's why he picked the Marines. He read someplace they were the oldest branch of the service. Hey, I guess I can turn on the radio now,
Yes,
huh?
go ahead. Anything to keep you from hopping around like a cricket on a hot sidewalk.
Well,
And I hope this radio will work.
Huh?
We can't use the car radio in emergencies anymore, you know.
Why not?
No car.
Oh. Let's see now. Station WVJK. That's 567 on the dial,
Well,
isn't
it was before you fixed it. Heaven only knows where it is now.
Well,
Don't you know it's illegal to change the wavelength of a station without the government's permission?
it is? Oh, my gosh. Don't tell anybody, then. I don't want to... Hey, it's almost time for the program. Listen. There. I think that new tube I put in is going to work swell.
I didn't know you could buy new radio tubes.
I took one out of the sun lamp. It was just as good...
This is station WVJK, the happy station.
Oh.
The following program was given earlier today and transcribed for presentation at this more convenient time because the man who runs the turntable at the studio found some worms in his victory garden and had to go fishing. Stand by, please.
Come on, Molly, over here by the radio.
What for? I'm comfortable sitting right here.
You heard him telling us to stand by, didn't you? Gee whiz.
Presenting The Winning of Wyoming, or The Half-Pint Man in the 10-Gallon Hat, featuring that...
Oh, now what's the matter?
Oh, my gosh. Hey, get your hand off the floor lamp, Molly. The radio don't work when anybody's touching any metal in the room.
Oh, dear.
Give me a screwdriver or something. I'll fix it. Must be a wire loose. Give me a hairpin. No, give me a match. Give me anything. I'll see if...
Oh, McGee, there's somebody at the door.
Well, tell them we don't want any. Tell them we're not home. Tell them we lost our coupons and starved to death. I got to get this thing fixed quick. Now, let me see.
Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, Abigail Uppington. Hello, darling.
How do you do, my dear? I'm Mr. McGee.
Oh, hi, Uppy. Excuse me, but the radio just went Republican on me, and I got to get it fixed quick.
Republican?
He means it can't decide whether it's going to run again or not. What's on your mind, Abigail, dear?
Well, I read in the Whitfield Vista Gazette, my dear, that there was going to be a radio program tonight about Mr. McGee's Uncle Sycamore McGee. I just wanted to tell you to listen.
Oh, how could we hear anything anyway with people ringing our doorbell all night long?
Why?
I never saw it fail. You try to hear something special on the radio, and what happens? Everything. That's what happens.
McGee, mind your manners.
Oh,
He's a little excited about his Uncle Sycamore on the radio, Abigail.
Oh, then you knew about the program tonight.
Oh, indeed we did. We've been waiting all day to hear it.
Look, will you two chatterfaces pipe down a minute? You got me as nervous as a switch. Just about had this thing working.
All right, McGee. Look, Abigail, won't you sit down here and listen to the program with us?
Oh, no, thank you, my dear. It's a Wild West sort of thing, I believe, and I simply can't stand all the shooting. My first husband was shot, you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, practically all the time.
What's the matter?
Well, Abigail was just saying that she couldn't listen with us, dearie. Shooting makes her too nervous.
Oh, it does, eh? Oh, well, Hey, I got it, I believe. Listen. Huh?
And as the dying rays of the sun paved the trail with gold, these hardy pioneers looked about for a place to make camp for the evening. They had traveled 20 miles from Fort Dodge, and as the peaceful campfires...
Oh, I was afraid of that. I can't stand it. Let me out of here, my nerves.
Oh, my gosh, there goes the radio again. Uppy slammed the door too hard. Give me another hairpin, quick.
All right, but... McGee, where did you get that horse pistol?
In the desk drawer. I had to get that old horse out of here some way, didn't I? I was just shooting blanks anyway. Got the radio fixed again. How much of the program have we lost?
Only 3 or 4 minutes, McGee.
Uh-huh.
But even that is disheartening.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I wish the radio had never been invented.
Huh?
And then when I think how we both like to eat regularly, I'm glad it was.
Sure changed people's way of living. Was a time when everybody used to gather around the piano and sing the old songs. Now they gather around the radio and sneer at the new ones. Oh, here we are.
On and on into the beckoning west rumbled the covered wagons. On and on into the promised land of golden grain and grains of gold marched the hardy Argonauts.
What's an Argonaut?
Search me, lady. I just read what they give me.
Oh.
Suddenly, the wagon train is halted. Indians. A shot is heard. In the distance, and riding like the very wind over a nearby hill, comes the intrepid scout and Indian fighter, Sycamore McGee.
Quick, Molly. Give me a stick of chewing gum. Give me another hairpin.
Oh,
Quick,
dear, fix it quick, McGee. It's just getting exciting.
I will. All it takes is just a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. Come in.
For the love of my...
Hi there, kids. Say, there's a radio program on you ought to be listening to. It's all about a fellow named Sycamore McGee.
Yes, we know, Mr. Oldtimer. We know. We've been listening.
Ain't listening now, daughter. What'd you shut it off for?
Doggone it, we didn't shut it off. The radio has gone haywire.
Hey?
Wire.
Oh, haywire.
Hey, be quiet, will you? How can I hear what I'm trying to do?
What's the matter with it, daughter?
Oh, McGee's been tinkering with it all afternoon, Mr. Oldtimer. He thinks he's a regular Marconi with cheese. Is Bessie home yet?
Yeah, she is, daughter. I got her. You got Bessie? Why, you little home wrecker?
No. He means he got the radio fixed.
Yeah, listen.
The wagon train was saved. Due to the heroic...
Well, glad you got it fixed, Johnny.
Sycamore McGee.
No, you'd want to hear it on account of your uncle was mentioned in it.
Quiet, Mr. Oldtimer.
Oh, don't mind me, daughter. I kind of like these Western programs
On the
myself.
surrounding
Never
hills,
gets left
we
out
ride
of
and
the
learn.
Will you quiet down? We're trying to listen.
Go right ahead, Johnny. Go right ahead. Hey, daughter, you were asking me about Bessie. I started to tell you. Bessie's home now.
I wish you were.
But this was done.
Oh, okay. I guess I can take a hint without being kicked in the face. If that's the way you feel, I'll come all the way over here to tell you about the radio program.
McGee slammed the door so hard he threw the radio off again.
That doddering old walnut puss. I'd like to tear his head off and throw it in his face. Give me another hairpin, quick.
Here, take them all. I'll run up and put on a shower cap. What happened on the program, McGee? I didn't hear a word of it.
Well, me either, but I'll have it fixed again in a jiffy. It's only that it just takes...
Oh, for heaven's sake, keep working, dearie. I'll get it. 79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking.
Good evening. This is a radio survey. Is your radio turned on?
I don't know, dearie. Hold the wire. McGee's the radio turned on?
It's turned on all right, but nothing comes out.
Thanks.
Huh?
I said thanks.
For what?
Never mind.
Huh?
Hush. Hello, radio survey. Yes, our radio is turned on.
Thank you. Will you please answer these two questions? What is your name and what is your favorite radio program?
My name is Mrs. Fibber McGee.
Thank you. Never mind the other question.
Who was it?
A radio survey. Wanted to know if we were listening.
What is this, a convention?
We ought to put a newspaper and cigar stand in here. Come in.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello, Molly. Hello, Fibber. I want you
Now, look here, Junior. We've been trying to hear a radio program all evening, and I've had about all the interruptions I can take. I know exactly what you want to say, and we've all heard it many times. And we can forego it this once. So what do you say you point your well-pressed pants toward the great outdoors?
Hey, will you keep quiet?
Huh?
Why, Mr. Wilcox, what is this?
This is a very important thing, Molly. First, let me introduce Miss Claudette Colbert. Miss Colbert, Mrs. McGee, and Mr. McGee.
Oh, how do you do, I'm sure.
How do you do?
Hi, sis. Now, look, I don't want to be rude, but
Hey, will you be quiet a minute, Fibber? Go ahead, Miss Colbert.
We'll let you get back to your radio program in just a moment, Mr. McGee, but I would like to give you a message first.
You go right ahead, dearie. Now be quiet, McGee.
Oh, okay. What is it, sis?
Mr. McGee, you're an American citizen and probably pretty proud of it. You and I and all of us are proud to belong to a country which was founded on liberty and grew to greatness within the four walls of the four freedoms. But freedom does not come free. Freedom must be paid for in blood and tears and courage and sacrifice. Our government has started its second war loan drive. It must raise $13 billion in the next 3 weeks. That means an average of $100 apiece for every man, woman, and child in America. It means we must all buy war bonds now and keep buying them up to and beyond what we all thought was our capacity. We're not giving up anything when we buy war bonds. We're keeping something. We're keeping faith with the men in our armed forces. And we're keeping alive our faith in the cause for which we're fighting. I think we can make $13 billion a very unlucky number for the Axis, don't you?
I sure do, sis.
Thank you, and good night. Come on, Mr. Wilcox.
My, isn't she a pretty thing, McGee?
Yeah, say, I've seen her around someplace. Is she that new kid that works at Kramer's drugstore?
McGee, that was Claudette Colbert, the movie star.
I thought I'd seen her face around somewhere. What? Claudette Colbert?
Sure.
Oh, my gosh, and here I was. Oh, gee whiz, call her that. Hey, Wilcox! Hey, Junior!
You see? That's what you get for never listening to introductions, McGee.
Well, gee whiz, if Wilcox hadn't mumbled his words, I might... Hey, the radio. We're missing the program.
Now, listen, don't get so jittery, McGee. We haven't missed but a minute or two.
Hey, I got it again, I think. Listen. Yeah.
There lay Sycamore McGee with a bullet in his chest.
Heavenly days, they got Uncle Sycamore.
Why, they couldn't have. He had 8 kids after that.
There was sadness around the campfires that night. Sycamore McGee, the great scout and daring leader, was dying.
Oh, sure.
The bells in the ancient churchyard of the settlement were softly tolling.
Lousy sound effect. Sounds like our doorbell.
It was our doorbell.
Huh? It is? Oh, hey, the radio is off again. The doorbell must have short-circuited. Oh, shucks.
Short-circuited.
That's what I said.
Oh, dear, come in.
Hi, mister. Hi, Miss McGee.
Oh, it's you.
Yes. Hey, mister, can I please listen to Win Up In with Uncle Win on your radio? Can I please, mister, can I?
No, you can't, sis. I'm sorry.
Our radio's not working right now, little girl, and anyway, we're trying to hear a program ourselves.
Yeah, so run along, sis. Hey, where's the glue, Molly? Oh, never mind. I got some Scotch tape. Go on, sis. Now, don't bother me. I got trouble.
Well, gee, mister, I gotta listen to Win Up In with Uncle Win on account of I sent him a dandy question, and if he uses it, he's going to send me an encyclopedia, and if I get one, I'll let you write on it.
Let me write on what?
My encyclopedia when I get it.
Look, little girl, an encyclopedia is a book.
Yeah, you're thinking of a velocitude.
Velocipede, McGee.
Go on. Velocipede is a bug with 100 legs.
No, that's a centipede, I betcha.
Centipede, my clavicle. Centipede means temperature. Fahrenheit and centipede.
No, dearie, that's centigrade.
Well, then what's a velocitude?
Yeah, I don't know, mister.
Well, what do you want to win something if you don't even know what it is? That's ridiculous. Now beat it, sis. We're trying to hear a program.
We're not bothering you, McGee. Go ahead and fix the radio. What was the question you sent in, little girl?
Well, it was a poodle, Miss McGee.
A what?
A poodle. You know, that's a riddle you can't get through your noodle.
Oh.
It was, why was Gone with the Wind so popular?
Oh, all right. Well, why was it? Tell us and scram.
Because Gone with the Wind was Southern, and Southern is a movie actress, and actresses make up, and you can't make up unless you're mad at somebody, and somebody's anybody, and that includes you, and you is a letter, and a letter needs a stamp, and a stamp is red, and so is the Red Cross, and the Red Cross has a lot of ladies, and the ladies are all knitting afghans, and boy, that's some yarn, and so is Gone with the Wind.
The King's Men sing Everybody Every Payday.
Give a great big lusty cheer by your victory, rat traps here. Give a dime or a dollar, make the axes holler, and the rat will disappear. Everybody, every payday, buy up on the USA way. That's the job, it's up to you and me. Put your baker, banker, scholar, take a dime from every dollar. Everyone pitch in for victory. Everybody, every payday, every farmer, every heyday, send your dollars into Uncle Sam. 10%, that's a rent everyone can pay for a home in the USA. In this corner, Uncle Sam, 130 million strong. If we all pitch in to help him win, brother, we can't go wrong. Everybody, every payday, buy up on the USA way. That's the job, it's up to you and me. Butcher, tailor, lawyer, whaler, riveter, baker, template maker, welder, teacher, doctor, scholar, take a dime from every dollar. Everyone pitch in for victory.
Uncle Sam. 10%, that's the rent everyone can pay. For home in the good old USA.
Oh, dear, if you don't get that radio fixed again pretty quick, McGee, it won't be any use. The program will be over.
I know. I'm working as fast as I can. Now, let me see. The peanut tube goes on the left of the static illuminator. Here we are, Mark.
Vaulting into the saddle, Sycamore McGee rode again.
I thought he was dying.
Yeah. Uncle Sycamore always was an easy bruise, but a quick heal.
As the thunder of his hoofs died away in the distance, a sinister bronze face, beady-eyed and cruel, peered through a thicket at the pioneer children playing poker for arrowheads among the wagons. Then, as a cloud obscured the sun, a faint sound was heard.
Those kids aren't playing poker, they're playing knock rummy.
That was a knock rummy on our door.
Huh?
And the radio's off again, too.
Oh, well, if this isn't the dog, why can't people leave us alone? That radio
No
won't stay
use
on.
trying to fix it now till whoever it is leaves, McGee.
That's
Come
right.
in.
Buenas noches, señora. Hello, missus.
Oh, it's Rosita. Hi.
Hello, Rosita. We haven't got much time to talk now, dearie. We're trying to catch a program. And I do mean catch. It bounces.
Oh, that is all right, Mrs. McGee. I just want to leave you 2 tickets to the fiesta, they celebrate tomorrow night at the Wistful Vista
Auditorium?
Oh, si, senor. Oh, you took the word right out of my mouth. But it's okay. I was through with it.
What's the celebration for, Rosita?
Tomorrow is Pan American Day, senora.
Oh.
It is to celebrate how North America is good neighbors with South America. And to tell everybody that if we stick together, nobody's going to get stuck.
Our company, Johnson Wax, does a lot of business with South America, sis. Most of their raw material comes from down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fine. I think if North Americans were knowing South Americans good, and South Americans are knowing North Americans good,
Yeah?
there will not be any North or South Americans.
No?
No, there will just be Americans.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? What part of South America are you from, dearie?
Who, me? Oh, I'm from Peoria. You know that.
I didn't mean you. I meant Rosita.
Oh.
Oh, I started out to be a baby in Mexico. But I have traveled all over the countries in Latin America. And every place I go, I like it better than someplace else.
Well, that's great, and thanks for the tickets, Rosita. We'll go to the celebration. And you know what?
No, what?
Well, the way you've traveled around and all, it's nice to know we can look at you and see a real Pan-American.
Oh, muchas gracias, senor. And it is nice for me to look at you and see a real American pan. Adios, amigo.
Riding into the purple
Listen,
sunset.
McGee, the door slammed, knocked the radio on
Into the
again.
tense moment as Sycamore McGee, the last of the great plainsmen, thundered into the Indian encampment. One lone white man against a horde of hostile savages.
Oh, boy. Watch yourself, Dick.
Be quiet.
Then a piercing sound sliced through the stillness.
Certainly fixed that radio, McGee.
dear.
Stops every time the doorbell rings or door slams or anybody touches the floor lamp or the wind blows from the east.
Well, it'd be all right if people would leave us alone. Give me another hairpin.
All right, here. Come in. Oh, hello, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Wimp. Excuse me while I work on this doggone radio.
Oh, I hope you get it fixed, Mr. McGee. There's a program on about your uncle, Sycamore McGee, and I came over to tell you...
Yes, we know, Mr. Wimple. We've been trying to listen to it. Were you listening to it yourself?
Oh, no, Mrs. McGee. I don't like to be near the radio at this time of the evening. The bedtime stories are always on, and Sweetie Face likes to curl up in my lap and listen to them.
Curl up in your lap. I thought she weighed about 180.
185, Mr. McGee. But she's still just a little girl at heart.
Oh, is she really?
Yes. You should see her take me by one hand and one foot and use me for a skipping rope.
Mr. Wimple, I think your wife is a pretty cruel woman.
Please, Mrs. McGee, you are speaking of the woman I
Love?
Well, that's a pretty strong term, Mr. McGee. Let's say that I admire her. And I really do. She has some wonderful qualities, she says.
You know, one of these days you're going to get fed up with all that mistreatment, Mr. Wimple, and I shudder to think what will happen then.
I got even with her yesterday, Mrs. McGee. I had about all I could stand. So when Sweetie Face was sitting out in the backyard, I sneaked in the house and got my big jackknife.
Oh.
Yes, and I held it behind my back and tippy-toed out in the yard.
Yes, yes.
And then I sat down close to Sweetie Face.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
And you know what I did? I beat her 4 games of mumbledy peg.
Oh, dear, I'm glad you didn't.
Hey, be quiet. I got the radio going again. Listen.
And that concludes the saga of the winning of Wyoming.
Oh.
But as a special surprise for our listeners, we have in the studio with us the hero of these great exploits, that hardy old plainsman and Indian fighter himself, Sycamore McGee.
Heavenly days, McGee. They got Uncle Sycamore himself down there.
Quiet.
We're going to ask Uncle Sycamore, as we call him, to say a few words to the radio audience.
Oh.
I think, Mr. McGee, if you move this floor lamp a little closer to the...
No. Don't touch the floor lamp.
One side, Molly. Out of my way, Wimp. I got to hear this. I think I can fix it quick.
Well, I'm really awfully sorry, folks. I didn't realize...
That's all right, Mr. Wimple. You didn't realize what you
Hey,
were
be
doing.
quiet. I got it.
Thank you, Uncle Sycamore McGee.
That's right.
Your kitchen linoleum, you probably gave very serious consideration to its colors. As a matter of fact, those bright linoleum colors are important in making your kitchen a pleasant room to work in, and you do spend a good many hours there. So it pays to keep those colors fresh and bright. Keep the linoleum from getting that faded-out, gloomy look. Yes, the same Johnson self-polishing glow coat that protects your linoleum surfaces, makes them wear so much longer, also protects the colors, keeps them bright and new-looking for many years. And don't forget that one of the main advantages of Johnson's Glow Coat is that it needs no rubbing or buffing. Saves you many hours of work. That's why on the label it reads Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this starts our 9th year on the air for Johnson's Wax. You've been swell, and everyone connected with this show wants to thank you again for your loyalty to us and our sponsors' products. We may not be so sophisticated,
But we're glad you like our polish.
good night.
Good night, Al.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents the Great Gildersleeve. Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, if you live in the South, you've probably already harvested many good things from your victory garden. If you live in the North, the first tender green shoots are pushing their way through the soil. Wherever you live, the chances are you're congratulating yourself on hard work that's worth it because you're providing your family with wholesome, good-tasting food. Kraft, the makers of Parquet Margarine, get much the same feeling of satisfaction, too, in making a food that fits in so well with your cash and ration stamp budgets. For Parquet Margarine requires just 5 red ration points a pound. And besides being a delicious, appetizing spread for bread, it's also a fine seasoning that'll add delicate extra flavor to garden vegetables served piping hot on your table. Yes, and parquet is a real flavor shortening for your home baking, and it's grand for pan frying, too. What's more, parquet is one of the best energy foods you can serve, and it contains vitamin A. So ask your dealer for parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now let's join the Great Gildersleeve in Summerfield. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in May, the kind of a Saturday morning that makes a man think twice before he starts down to the office. Mr. Gildersleeve, who is strictly human, has thought twice and is about to think again when the doorbell rings.
Oh, who the... I think it's a postman, Leroy.
Postman? Gee, maybe he's got my stuff.
Huh?
Hi, Mr. Underwood.
Hello there, young fella. I've got something for you if you've got 97 cents for me.
97? Just a second. Say, could I have my allowance now, please?
Well, I guess so. Let me see. I haven't got 50 cents in change.
Is that so? That's funny. I was about to ask for a slight advance anyhow. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, very funny.
Say, hurry up, son. The United States mail waits for no man.
Well, please, just once. It's an emergency.
Well, all right. Here, pay the man, and we'll discuss it later.
Gee, thanks, Unc. Here's the money, Mr. Underwood.
All right, Sonny, thanks.
Oh, boy, this is it. From the Lincoln Novelty Company.
Wait a minute. I thought this was an emergency.
So it is. Tomorrow's Tom Ladd's birthday.
Oh.
So naturally, I had to get him some kind of remembrance, something worthwhile.
What'd you get him?
Oh, a few novelties.
Novelties? What are they, Leroy?
Oh, just little things a boy would like.
Young man, let me see that package.
Oh, no, won't.
From the Lincoln Novelty Company, the boy's best friend since 1878. What are you buying from him, Leroy?
Oh, it's the greatest thing you ever saw. You put it in your mouth and you can throw your voice anywhere. It makes you a regular ventriloquist.
Leroy, I bought one of those things 25 years ago, and it's no good.
Gosh, what do you expect for a dime, Edgar Bergen? Besides, they've improved it.
Never mind. That's a dime. Now, what else did you spend the money for?
Well, there's this certain powder.
Yeah, sneezing powder?
Partly.
Itching powder?
Yeah. Did you try that too, Unc?
Yeah, but you won't. My father gave me a licking I'll never forget for that.
Well, I guess parents didn't understand children in those days, did they, Unc?
I think they understood them pretty well, Leroy. I'm going to explain a few things to you right now.
Oh, for corn's sake. Just because I want to borrow 47 cents.
It's not the 47 cents, my boy. It's your whole conception of money. Where it comes from, what it's for. Now, if you had a job, as many boys do at your age...
Can I get a job, Unc?
I think it'll do you good. Teach you the value of $1, the dignity of honest labor. I think it'd be fine for you to get a job, Leroy. Earn $1 or $2 every week, perhaps.
$1 or $2? Are you kidding? I can go right down to a cartridge factory and knock off $37.50 every Saturday.
What?
Well, that's what Hector Briggs makes.
Never mind. You'll get a part-time job that you can handle after school, or you'll have none. Now, do you want it?
Well, sure, it's better than nothing. Well, where am I going to get one?
I'll get one for you. Oh, my goodness, it's 11 o'clock. If I don't get to work pretty soon, people will say I'm a part-time water commissioner. Don't worry, Leroy. I'll get you a job.
Come in, Gildy. Come in.
Hello, Judge. Horace, I come to ask your advice.
Well, I don't know why you didn't come to me long ago.
What do you mean?
Throckmorton, you and I are old friends, aren't we?
That's right, Horace.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we?
That's right.
I guess we don't have to beat around the bush with each other, do we?
Certainly not.
Gildy, let's face it. Marriage is a wonderful institution, but it's not for us.
What?
Now, don't misunderstand me. Leila Ransom is a fine woman.
Hooker, I don't know what you're talking about. What I'm talking about has nothing to do with Leila Ransom, and I'll thank you to keep her out of this.
Sorry, Gildy. Sorry, old man. Sorry.
All right.
If I spoke out of turn, I'm sorry.
All right.
I could bite my tongue off.
You don't have to do that.
10,000 pardons, old man. I'm sorry.
All right, you're sorry. What I came here to talk to you about is Leroy, Judge.
Leroy? Well, What has our young friend got himself into now?
Nothing. It's just what I'm afraid he might get into. I think he needs something to keep him out of mischief, Judge. I think he ought to have a job.
Best thing in the world for him.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to know you feel that way about it. Horace.
Yes, Gildy?
You and I are old friends, aren't we?
That's right, Gildy.
We've been through a lot together, you and I.
We certainly have.
You know, Horace, if you had a son...
That's one of the sorrows of my life, Gildy. But I haven't a son.
I know, but if you had a son, and say that son was at the age where he was ready to take a job...
Yeah?
You know, I'd feel positively hurt if you didn't send him to me for a job first.
Would you, Gildy?
Absolutely. I'd feel downright hurt. Now, I haven't any son either, but I have got a nephew, Judge.
Gildy, do you mean you want me to give Leroy a job?
That's right.
Are you kidding?
All right, Hooker, try and get any favors out of me.
That you, Unc?
Yes, Leroy. And I'd like a word with you.
Unc, guess what? I've got a surprise.
Well, that's fine. But suppose you save it for a moment. Leroy, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you.
Disappoint me?
Yes, my boy. I promised this morning that I'd get you a job, but I find it's not as easy as I thought.
Yeah, but, Unc...
Please let me finish. I realized that you'd be disappointed, so I decided I'd give you a job myself.
At your office?
No, right here, my boy, mowing the lawn.
Well, I did that last summer.
I know, but this summer I'll pay you. Shall we consider it settled?
Well, there's just one catch, Unc.
What's that?
I got a job myself this afternoon. TV's drugstore.
What?
I start tomorrow. See you later, Unc.
Wait a minute. Who's going to mow the lawn?
Leroy? Leroy?
Huh? Oh, yes, Mr. Peavy. Just straightening out the magazines here. I'll have them fixed in 2 shakes.
That's all right. You go ahead and read the comics if you want. No harm in that. I just wanted to say I'm going to leave you in charge here for a few minutes.
Oh, boy, my big opportunity.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'll only be a minute. I just got a little errand for Mrs. Peavy before the butcher shop closes. Veal cutlet.
Well, take your time, Mr. Peavy. I can handle the store.
I think you can. There's just 1 or 2 things before I go, if you don't mind, Leroy.
Yes, sir?
I've noticed when you answer the phone, you've been saying Peavy's Pharmacy.
Well, don't you like that?
Well, no. I think that's a little flashy. I prefer just a very conservative hello.
Oh. All right, Mr. Peavy. I'll remember.
And the only other thing is this. Don't prescribe for people.
Oh. I thought that was what druggists were for.
Pharmacists, Leroy. We are pharmacists.
Oh, I forgot.
No, we never prescribe. I made an arrangement to that effect with Dr. Pettibone some years ago. We agreed that I wouldn't try to cure his patients and he wouldn't make any ice cream sodas. Just be careful, that's all. Oh, hello, Piggy.
Hiya, Mr. Peavy. Hi, Leroy. Hi.
I guess I can trust you to wait on your young friend here, Leroy. I'll be back shortly.
Hey, you, put down that comic book. I'm just looking at it. Well, Dad, I just finished straightening up those magazines. I could look at it if I want to, not unless I say so. I'm in charge here. Who says so? I say so. Who are you? You'll find out. Listen, thanks. Drop that book. Okay. Keep your hands off things, see? I'm in charge here. I'm responsible. Don't want to look at your old comics anyway. I've read them all. And don't be swinging on that seat. You're liable to bust it. Come on. What do you want here? I want some candy. How much money you got? Oh, don't worry. I've got the money. More money than you'll ever see. Oh, yeah? You know how much money I make here? $3 a week. Yeah. I do. And you know how much that is in a year? About $150. Gosh. What are you going to do with it all? I haven't decided yet. Probably buy a drum and a set of claps. Real ones? Of course, real ones. What do you think? Gosh. Will you let anybody else play it? Don't make me laugh. This is a very valuable drum I'm going to buy. Leroy. What? I'll tell you something if you'll tell me something. What? Who's your best friend? I don't know. I've got a lot of friends. I'll have to think it over. You know who my best friend is? Who cares? Come on, are you going to buy anything or aren't you? Sure, I'm going to buy some candy. And if I thought you were a friend of mine, I'd give you some of it. Candy. I can eat all I want of it here. Make up your mind. What do you want? Give me a jazz bar. Let me see your nickel. Why? I have to see your money first. Who says so? I say so. Why you? You'll find out. Oh. Hello, Unc.
Well, what's going on here?
Just making a sale.
Sounds more as if you were killing one. Hello, Piggy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Here's your candy, thanks. That'll be 1 nickel with tax. Well, Unc, what can I do for you today?
Leroy.
Yes?
What are you going to do with that nickel?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Want to watch that, young man?
Yes, sir. I'll go on, you little squirt, before I beat your brains in.
Leroy, that's not the way to speak to a customer.
Yes, sir. Hey, there's Mr. Peavy. What do you have, Unc?
Nothing, my boy. I happened to be driving by, and I thought if you were through here, maybe you'd like a ride home.
Oh, gosh, that's nice of you, but it's a little early, isn't it, Unc?
Well, I think if I speak to Mr. Peavy, I can get him to let you off.
Gee, thanks.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Peavy. I just dropped in to ask if I could borrow this boy of mine for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, certainly, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't think I'll be needing him.
Well, thanks, Peavy.
Yeah, thanks.
You know how it is. Grass is getting a little long there at home.
Grass?
I quite understand.
Yeah, Unc, you didn't say anything about...
Quiet, Leroy. I'll tell you what I'll do, Peavy. I'll hire him back from you. 50 cents for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, it won't be... excuse me, telephone.
Yeah. And if you need him for any deliveries, just phone and I'll send him right over.
Hello?
But, Unc, 50 cents to mow the lawn. I don't even get the 50 cents.
Well, that's business, my boy.
Business, that's slavery.
Yes.
You can't do it, Unc. It's against the Constitution.
Yes. Quiet, you. How can Mr. Peavy telephone?
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that.
And maybe this will be a lesson to you, young man, not to try to match wits with your uncle.
Yes, indeed. Right away.
Yeah, I guess we'll be running along then, Peavy.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm terribly sorry.
What is it?
They just phoned from Judge Hooker's house.
Judge Hooker?
It seems the old gentleman has just had a sudden attack with indigestion, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to send Leroy out with some Ipecac.
Hooray! Gosh, that's too bad.
Why, the old goat. Why doesn't he watch out what he eats? Who does he think he is, a 10-year-old? No wonder he gets the cobbly wobbles. You know what I think, Peavy? I think he did this deliberately.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, he did. He did this just to spite me.
Oh!
Leroy.
What a character.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few seconds. Now, I believe I've said all I need to about Parquet, the delicious margarine made by Kraft. You know it's nourishing, and you know it tastes good. So now I'm going to talk about the men and women behind the counter in your favorite food store. I'm going to talk about them because they deserve a word of praise for the perfectly marvelous job they're doing in these trying times. The people in grocery stores have always worked hard, but in these days, with shortages of help, shortages of food, and food rationing, well, they really have a job to do, and believe me, they're doing it. They're doing a job for the manufacturers of food, for you, and for Uncle Sam. And in spite of the fact that point rationing is many times more complicated for them than for any of us, they carry on cheerfully, patiently, long hours, day in and day out. Without the willing cooperation of the grocer and his helpers, rationing could not succeed, nor could any of us eat as well as we're eating. Now, there are no awards of merit for these hard-working patriots, but they, too, are helping to win the war. Let's give them our support by budgeting ration points ahead, by shopping early in the day and early in the week. Now let's return to Summerfield. After a week with Leroy working for Peavy, Gildersleeve's lawn has become almost a jungle, and if he's ever to conquer it, it must be done today. So while Marjorie lolls in the hammock, we find him reluctantly trundling the mower out of his garage and calling upon the spirits of his ancestors to give him strength.
Grass. Everywhere you look, nothing but grass. I hate the stuff.
Talking to me, Uncle Mose?
No, I'm talking to myself, my dear. I'm talking to the grass. Yeah, all right, you can laugh. You're a woman, Marjorie. You don't have to wrestle with it.
We could always get a goat.
A goat? For this grass, we'd have to get a goat with a motor on it.
Why not? A motor goat.
A motor goat. You couldn't get any self-respecting goat to do this kind of work. It takes a dumb beast like a man.
Oh, Uncle Mort.
That's all I am, just a beast of burden, my dear, a slave. All day long, up and down, up and down, up and down. Is that any kind of a life?
Oh, it'll probably be the making of you. A little exercise?
In all this heat? It's the worst thing in the world for me. Say, I know.
What?
How's to run in and send Bertie out with a nice big pitcher of lemonade, huh? That might help.
All right, if you like.
And some lady fingers to go with it.
But we just finished lunch.
Well, you can't run an engine without fuel, you know. Motor goat. This darn lawn. What good is it? We never play croquet anyway. Well, here goes.
Throckmorton.
Leila.
Am I interrupting something, Throckmorton?
Oh, that's all right. I haven't really started here yet. Come on, Leila. Let's sit down here on the grass, huh? Shall we?
All right, let's. Oh, this is nice. You know what I love?
Huh?
I love to run my fingers through the nice, soft grass and feel the warm earth underneath. Don't you?
Yeah, and feel those darn little roots pushing it up, pushing it up.
Oh, silly.
Yeah. Listen, Leila.
What?
I think I can hear it growing.
Oh, Throckmorton, I love you when you're like this.
Like what?
Silly.
Silly? Well, what's silly about it? You don't realize I have to mow all this. Every blade of it. As far as the eye can reach. All by myself. And today.
Oh, then, Throckmorton, I'd better be going so you can get at it.
Oh, Leila, don't rush off.
No. I was going to ask you to do something.
Oh, I'd love to, Leila.
No, not till you finish this.
Well, tell me what it is.
No, Throckmorton, not till you're through here.
Oh, please.
No.
Pretty please?
No. Throckmorton, let go. Here comes Bertie.
Yeah? After I finished, will you?
After you finish. So you hurry up and get to work now, you hear?
The darn lawn. Well, here goes.
Here's your lemonade, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Just in the nick of time, Bertie. Say, it looks mighty good, too.
Yes, sir. Here's a glass.
Oh, never mind the glass. I'll just drink it out of the pitcher, like this.
Look out there, Mr. Gildersleeve. Look out, you don't fall in. What a man. Mr. Gildersleeve, you better come up for air.
I tell you, there's nothing like a pitcher of lemonade after a hard day's mowing.
Pretty good before it, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Bertie. Say, by the way, Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Tell me something. Don't you get awfully tired of staying in that hot kitchen all day long?
Well, sir, I was mostly brung up in hot kitchens, so I guess I'm kind of used to it. My blood got thinned out or something.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to get outdoors once in a while and get a little fresh air?
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, it's so long now since I had any fresh air, I don't know how I could handle it.
Nonsense. Fresh air is good for you, Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Do you know anything about lawnmowers, Bertie?
Well, yes, I know the main thing about them.
What's that?
Keep away from them.
This will be the death of me yet. Grass, it sneaks up on you. It grows when your back is turned.
Hi there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hi.
Well, I haven't seen you around here lately, my boy.
Oh, been kind of busy. Well, see, you're doing a little lawn mowing.
Yeah, just mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Great exercise. Great for the stomach muscles.
Yeah, great.
Is Marge around?
Marge? Well, she's inside there somewhere.
Oh, good.
Oh, Ben.
Yes, sir?
You're a mechanic, Ben. I wonder if you'd come here a minute and take a look at this confounded lawnmower.
Oh, is there something wrong with it?
Well, I don't know if there's anything really wrong, but it seems to push awful hard.
Oh, well, maybe you got it set too tight.
Huh?
Let's turn her over and take a look.
Yeah, you go right ahead, Ben.
Yeah. Seems to spin all right.
Oh?
Have you tried it?
Yeah, well, I tried it. I've been at this thing since lunch. I mowed clear down to that hedge and back, Ben.
Huh.
Funny, I don't know what it could be then.
I'll tell you what. You try it, huh? Maybe I just haven't got the knack of it.
Oh, well, all right, sure.
Here. Better take your coat off, Ben. I'll hold it.
Oh, I don't need to take my coat off just to try it.
Oh, well, I know, but it's a hot day. You better give it to me.
Don't you do it, Ben.
Oh, Marge. Gosh, I didn't see you.
Neither did I. How long have you been standing there, my dear?
Long enough to see what's going on.
Now, Marjorie, nothing was further from my mind.
Then what?
Then, you know.
All right, put your coat on, Ben. You're through for the day.
Oh, you dropped something there, my boy.
Oh, my Poppy. Poppy Day.
I suppose some pretty girl sold you that.
Yeah, she was, kind of.
Now, Margie, nothing wrong with Ben's buying a poppy. Poppy Day is a very, very worthy cause.
Only joking, Uncle Mort. I'm only jealous because he didn't buy it for me.
Oh, gosh, if I'd known you were selling them.
Well, if you'd come around a little oftener.
Well, shall we,
Yes, let's.
Oh, don't go. Sit down on the swing here.
Yeah, but you see, I've got something I'd kind of like to talk over with her. Some news.
Well, talk it over with her right here.
Uncle Mort?
I know you two want to be alone. Doesn't take a lawnmower to fall on me. You make yourselves comfortable here, and I'll just knock off for a little while, huh?
Mr. Gildersleeve, gosh, we don't want to interrupt your work.
Then, if we don't, he'll never forgive us.
Huh? Marjorie, I think that's hardly fair. However, things being as they are, I'll see you later. Marjorie, when are we going to have supper? I'm half starved.
We'll have it just as soon as Leroy arrives, Uncle Mort.
Leroy? It's Leroy this and Leroy that. Who the dickens is Leroy?
He's the kid that used to mow the lawn, remember?
Yeah, and he'll mow it again, too.
Now, let's be nice to him when he gets home.
All right.
After all, it's his first week's work, and that's a pretty big milestone for a boy.
Is Leroy working?
Mm-hmm. He's been working for Mr. Peavy this week, Dan.
Oh. Go to church?
Well, something like that.
No, Uncle Mort. I'll bet Leroy learns plenty in that drugstore.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, yes, he will. I'll bet you that when he...
Hi, everybody.
Oh, thank goodness. Bertie! Bertie!
I heard it too, Mr. Gildersleeve.
All right.
All right, folks. The toiler is home from his toil. Who's going to get my pipe and slippers?
Young man, I want you to get this through your head. You're no more important than anyone else in this house.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that. Mr. Mort, did I hear you say you wouldn't learn anything from Mr. Peavy?
Yeah, I take it all back, my dear.
I'm sorry I'm late, folks, but waiting to see what I've got. Here, Marge, don't say I never did anything for you. Why, Leroy, a present. You darling. Here, Unc. Merry Christmas.
What? Why, Leroy, you shouldn't have done this.
Oh, look. It's a gadget to fix the runs in stockings. Oh. Guaranteed to fix nylon, silk, anything. Got to see the fella do it. What fella? The fella I bought it from. He had a whole suitcase full of them. Oh, Leroy, it's simply marvelous. It's just what I wanted.
Well, I seem to have a pencil here.
Oh, but that's not all, Unc. It's got 2 different kinds of lead and a ruler down the side with genuine millimeters on it and a flashlight on the end.
What, no banjo? Well, thank you, my boy. I don't know what to say, really.
Oh, that's okay, Unc. You're welcome. Hey, I'd better take Bertie her present.
Oh, what'd you get for Bertie, Leroy?
A bracelet with rubies in it.
What?
Well, it might be rubies. He's really a very generous kid.
He certainly is.
Golly, he must have spent a pile of money on all that stuff.
I'm afraid so.
Thank you, Leroy. Ah, forget it, Bertie. Well, it won't be long now, folks.
Are you hungry?
Am I? I didn't have time to make myself a soda the whole afternoon.
Leroy, listen to me a moment. You've been very generous, and generosity is a fine trait. But I'm afraid you spent too much money on these presents.
Oh, don't worry, Unc. I got plenty left. I figure I'll be able to get my drum in just 14 weeks.
I want to explain something to you, my boy. You're making money now. Everyone in this country is making money.
Yeah?
But hardly anybody is making things to sell anymore. Most of the work is going into making bullets and such for the war.
Yeah?
What I'm trying to say is everybody ought to spend their money on war bonds and stamps instead of things they don't need. That's the way to fight inflation.
Oh, you mean I shouldn't get the drum?
Oh, I didn't say that. It'd be a very good thing if we all thought more about the war and less about ourselves.
Oh, gosh, Unc, I can't be thinking about the war all the time. Would it be easier if you knew somebody who was in it? Yeah, sure, I suppose so. But I don't. Yes, you do, Leroy. Oh, I don't, Marge, honest. Ben, can I tell?
Huh? Oh, Sure, I guess so.
All right. Leroy, this morning Ben got his commission in the Navy. He'll be leaving very soon to join a ship. Gosh, the Navy.
Well, I didn't know about this, Ben. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, sir.
The Navy.
Yeah, brings war a little closer, doesn't it, my boy?
Yeah. And me worrying about a drum. Well, now that Ben's in the Navy, I'd better buy him some bullets. I'll buy bonds, Unc.
Yeah, now you're talking like a grown-up man, Leroy, and I'm proud of you.
Leroy, I hate to say it, but you're wonderful. Come here. Huh? Here. I haven't got a medal for you, but... There! Oh, gosh! What's the idea of kissing people like that? No wonder Ben is joining the Navy.
Well, little Leroy hasn't grown up as much as I thought he had. What good is it? You can't eat it. You can't sell grass. All you can do is mow it. Oh, these darn mosquitoes. Oh, brother, this has been one of my bad days.
Throckmorton.
Oh, that's you, Leila?
I've been expecting you all afternoon, Throckmorton. What happened?
Oh, nothing happened, Leila. I've been working here like a dog. But by George, enough is enough. I'm quitting right now. What is it you want me to do, Leila?
Oh, well, it's too late now, Throckmorton.
Oh, no, it's not, Leila.
Oh, but it is.
Leila, don't be like that. It's never too late. A man's got to have a little fun. What is it you were going to suggest that we do?
Well, I thought if you got through with your lawn in time, maybe you'd help me with mine.
That's all. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to listen in again next Sunday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. Lots of you ladies are having to use ingenuity these days to make the main dish hearty. Well, here's a very clever trick. Serve a small amount of meat or chicken or eggs or vegetables creamed in a licking good macaroni and cheese ring. And make that ring the fast way with Kraft Dinner in only 7 minutes cooking time. The Kraft Dinner macaroni is a special kind that cooks fluffy tender just in boiling water. The Kraft grated in each Kraft Dinner box puts the cheese flavor through and through the macaroni in a jiffy. Press the delicious hot Kraft Dinner into a ring mold, let it set for a moment, and then serve with your creamed meat or vegetables. Or serve the Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese all by itself. Either way, you have a real wartime special. For one Kraft Dinner box gives you macaroni and cheese for 4 people, and you give out just one single red ration point. Get some soon. Just ask for Kraft Dinner. This program reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Makers of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Car New, and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. Quite a few letters have come in recently giving us new items to be mentioned in our department of new and unusual uses for Johnson's Wax. One woman writes, I've just finished waxing the brickwork around my living room fireplace. Now it looks so beautiful, and I know it'll be much easier to keep clean. Tell this one to many of your listeners. I will indeed. And I know that any of you who have brick or tile around your fireplace will find this suggestion very helpful. You can use either the paste or liquid Johnson's wax. The job takes only a few minutes, and the benefits last a long time. Here's another item I like. A woman in Illinois says that she always uses a little of the regular Johnson's wax on her electric light switch plates. When these are painted in light colors, you know, they're apt to show dirty fingerprints quickly. The wax protects them and makes cleaning easy and adds just one more touch of beauty to your home. I hope you'll all try these new protective uses for genuine Johnson's wax. They'll help you take better care of your things and save you work. Both very worthwhile today. Well, it's a raw, windy spring day in Wistful Vista. Just the kind of day a man likes to stay indoors with a pipe and a good book. Or, in this case, a nickel cigar and a copy of Flash Gordon comics. The lady of the house is occupied with a dress pattern. As we meet, Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
So Flash ups to him and he says...
McGee, I'm so exasperated.
What about?
Oh, this dress pattern.
Oh.
I can't seem to figure it out. It's been so long since I made a dress for myself, I'm all out of practice.
I thought you could buy dresses about as cheap as you could make them.
Well, not quite. Anyway, we said we'd buy war bonds instead of Easter clothes, didn't we? So I have this material, and I bought a pattern for 35 cents.
Let me see it.
See?
This don't look so tough. All you got to do is lay the pattern out on the cloth and cut around it.
Oh, is that all?
Why, certainly. That's a cinch.
Look who's talking.
Huh?
I saw a sock you darned once. You bunched it up around the hole, and you tied the string around it and pounded it down with a hammer.
That was an emergency. This is simply a matter of intelligence. Just a little...
dear. I suppose you could work out this dress pattern in nothing flat.
Why, certainly. Less than that. And with one eye tied behind me.
All right, go ahead.
Huh?
I said, go ahead. You've got the job.
Oh, hey, now, wait a minute. I merely said I could. After all, a man...
You mean you refuse to do it when you know how and I don't?
No, I'm not refusing. I just said a man...
Oh, then you will. Oh, you darling. I could just kiss you for that because...
Now, wait a minute. I'm no dressmaker. I was just trying to point out...
Oh, I'm so glad I married a man who could do things.
Huh?
Ah, you're so sweet to promise to do this, McGee. Now, you get started while I run up and get the scissors and the pins and everything. I'll be right back.
Hey, wait! Oh, well, I'll be... This is going to be one of my bad days. Why can't I keep my big, busy, fat, loud mouth shut? I got about as much business cutting up dresses as Doolittle has riding the subway. I can get myself into more... Come in.
Oh, hi there, Johnny. Kind of breezy out, ain't it?
Yeah.
Haven't been pushed around by the wind so hard since the march and the parade last 4th of July.
There wasn't any wind that day.
There was where I marched, Johnny. Right in front of the tuba player. What you doing?
Well, if you must know, my nosy friend, at this moment I am old Joe Butterick. I am Mr. Modiste in person. I'm an unstrung harper from Harper's Bazaar, and when I do this, that ain't B for victory. That's for Vogue.
What you talking about, Johnny? What you sore about?
I'm sore at myself. I stuck my neck out, and when I hauled it back in, I was wearing a horse collar. I get myself into more jams than Cross and Blackwell. You want to buy about 10 shares of stupidity? I just cornered the market.
No. Take it easy, Johnny.
Well, gee whiz.
You better tear up your red stamps. You're eating too much meat.
Look, you see this dress pattern?
Huh?
I just elected myself to make something out of it. And me that don't know a reed pleat from a stuffed cuff on a freak frock.
You're in a bad spot, Johnny.
I'll say so.
Sorry I can't help you out. Just bull your way through, kid. Maybe you can figure out where the bodice is buried. If Becky was here...
McGee, how are you getting along with it? Oh, hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi there, daughter. Understand Johnny here is going to help you with your new dress.
Yes.
Well, he's just the kid that can do it.
Oh, pipe down, will you?
Oh, you'll make out all right, Johnny. I knew a kid once, much dumber than you. that used to make all his own neckties. I was one of his pallbearers.
Oh, heavenly days. What happened to him?
Made a novelty necktie out of rawhide, daughter.
Yeah.
Went out in the rain with it. Sun come out later, dried the rawhide and strangled him. We seen him getting red in the face and keep pointing to the necktie, but we thought he was blushing and asking our opinion of it. We just stood there smiling and nodding at him till the poor fellow was gone. Well, good luck, Johnny. So long, daughter.
McGee, or rather let you get at it. Now, here's a paper, pens, and some scissors, and a blue pencil. Will you need anything else?
Yes, a good swift kick in the...
No.
No, I guess not. Now, let's see. First, I better read the instructions. It says to put the ink on the palm.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, dearie. Imagine a man being able to do this.
Oh, no. Hey, we got a bias?
A what?
A bias. Part of this has got to be cut on the bias. Oh, never mind. I'll cut it on the floor. More room anyway. Now, let me see. First, I lay out the material.
Yes, and you better pin it to the rug, McGee, so it won't slip.
Yeah, I'm just going to. Hand me a thumbtack.
Why don't you use pins?
I always use thumbtacks for this stuff. Holds it flatter.
My goodness, I never would have thought of that.
Oh,
but we
sure.
haven't got any thumbtacks, dearie. Use them all in your war match.
Well, oh, for the love of Mike. Come in. Doggone it, sis, look what you did. I had this pattern all laid out, and you had to open the door and blow it all over the place.
Oh.
Why don't you go where you're... why don't you be more... What do you want?
Oh, don't be so grouchy, McGee. She can't help it if it's so windy outside. Or inside either, for that matter.
Well, gee whiz. How can a guy concentrate with a 40-mile gale blowing through the joint?
What you doing, mister? What you?
I'm cutting out a dress. And don't go blabbing it all over the neighborhood.
What difference would it make? It's no disgrace to know how to do things.
It's a disgrace to have people think you know how to do certain things better than you do.
Well, maybe I can help you, mister. Now, look, if you put some plackets under the arms, the problem will understand the tagger tie and then give you enough Camadan to put a kick plate in the skirt.
I know that much, sis. I'm no dumbbell. What was it you wanted?
Well, I wanted you to help me build a model airplane. I got all the stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, sis. I haven't got time today. Come back tomorrow.
Okay. But have you got time for a poodle?
I don't know.
Well, what is it?
Yes, and make it snappy.
Well, why is an elephant afraid of a mouse, huh?
Well, why is he?
Because the elephant has a trunk, and a trunk has 3 trays, and 3 trays beats 2 pears, and pears grow on trees, and trees have bark, and so does a dog, and a dog is man's best friend, and your best friends won't tell you, and neither will I.
McGee. Allow for a zipper on the skirt.
Don't worry, I got it figured in. I also got a place for another one.
Where?
Right across my big, noisy mouth. Next time I talk myself into a woman's job like this, I'll... Hey, are you sure we haven't got any thumbtacks?
No, we haven't, dear.
Well, I'll have to call the drugstore and have Kramer send a couple over. Hand me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Kramer's drugstore on the corner of Mert. How are you, Mert?
Oh, dear.
How's every little thing, Mert? Says, hey. What's that, Mert? Your grandfather got clipped on the puss.
Oh, good heavens. What happened, McGee?
He got stuck $40 for a Persian cat that was only worth 10. What's that, Mert? Yeah, that's what I thought. Never mind, it wasn't important. Thanks, Mert. Kramer's is busy.
Well, listen, you can use pins. Now, here's the pattern for the front.
Let me see. Hand me a couple of them safety pins there.
Okay. Come in.
Hey, now, watch out for the stuff. Don't let it go. Hey, what about this?
Dear, oh, dear.
Shut the door. Shut the door.
Well, my goodness. Abigail Uppington. Hello, darling.
How do you do, my dear? And Miss McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Excuse me, but would you be so good as to hand me the back of my skirt?
The what?
He's lost the back of his skirt, Abigail.
Yeah.
Good heavens, the back of his skirt?
When?
And what am I to do with it?
It's in your hat.
In my hat?
Yes, in your hat.
I beg your pardon, Miss McGee. I did not come here to...
Now, Abigail, you don't understand. McGee's laying out a dress pattern for me. And when you opened the door, the pattern for the back of his skirt blew up and landed on your hat.
Oh, I see. Oh, here, Miss McGee.
Thanks. Pretty embarrassing the way a fellow's skirts blow around, isn't it? Now, let me see. A panel under the arm here.
Well, what on earth? Now, I had no idea you were so versatile, Mr. McGee. Where did you ever learn dressmaking?
He never did, Abigail. He said that anybody with brains could make a dress, and since he admits he has brains, I'm letting him do it.
Yeah. And it's a cinch, girls. It's a cinch. In fact, I'm thinking of opening up a tailor shop after the war. Get Fred Nittany from Starved Rock, Illinois, to go in with me.
Say, where did you know this Fred Nittany, McGee? I've heard you speak of him so often.
I was in vaudeville with Fred. We done a blackface act together, me and Fred.
McGee's always loved vaudeville, Abigail. Even when he was 3 and 4 years old, he was putting on blackface and playing minstrel shows.
Really?
Yes, sir. I was actor at heart for my second year. I got so obnoxious to my father, he took me out in the woodshed and beat it out of me with a hickory stick. And for years afterward, I was known as the hickory-cured ham. Hey, Uppy.
Yes?
I almost forgot to tell you. You know, I think you got the right spirit.
Why, McGee?
You know, I told you. She worked all day long in her victory garden yesterday. I saw you out there 6 times yesterday. In her old clothes she was. And that derby hat. And I never saw you looking so healthy and happy, Uppy.
Mr. McGee, I was not in my garden yesterday.
No?
That was my scarecrow. Oh, goodbye.
Look at all those patterns, glued all over the place. Help me get them together, Molly.
All right, dear.
That's it, that's it.
Now, listen, when you get the dress all cut out, you can slip it on while I see how it looks.
Oh, no, you don't. Not me, baby. I may not be bright, but I'm no dummy. Anyway, you can't fit your dress on me. Wouldn't prove anything. You and I don't throw the same shadow.
Oh, my goodness, it would be
Hello, folks.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello, folks, says he in that jolly good fellow way. Why don't you knock before you bust into people's houses, Junior? Look what you did to all these dress patterns. Blew them all over the room.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really am, Molly. I didn't know you were working on a dress.
I'm not. McGee is.
What? He is?
Yes, I am, and I don't want to hear any wisecracks, too, either.
Oh, I wasn't going to crack wise, pal.
Well?
If a fella likes to make dresses, it's none of my business. Everybody's entitled to a hobby. Why, I know a guy who spends practically all day long polishing his car. Doesn't need it, but he loves to do it because he says he gets such a kick out of using Johnson's Car New. These with which it's applied and wiped off. The double job it does in both cleaning and polishing. Well, he's never gotten over it.
Well, don't look at me. We haven't got a car.
Well, I know that, pal. I was just saying how Johnson's Car New does impress people.
Yeah.
They can't get over how it cleans and polishes in one simple, easy application. How it protects and preserves the finish. These days when you can't just run out and trade in your car for a new one.
We haven't got a car.
No. But they know you can trade in that dust and road grime for a nice, dazzling, shiny polish by using Car New.
Say, how did we get on this subject?
Oh, leave it to Junior to throw in that businesslike touch. I'm getting so I can't look at his map without trying to find Racine, Wisconsin on it.
Well, I won't bother you any longer, pal. Look, if you get to where you want to get out with the men folks, come on over to my house and bring your crocheting. We can sit on the porch and rock.
Why, is that big? One of these days, he's going to irritate me one too many, and I'll clack his clavicle.
Listen, I wouldn't if I were you. You know, Mr. Wilcox is an old polo player.
Yeah.
He's in pretty good condition.
So what's polo? Hockey on a hay burner. Badminton on a burro. Golf at a gallop. Anybody who has the least...
McGee, what's the matter? I yell. Why, you're white as a sheet, to coin a clever phrase. McGee, say something.
Hi. Is there a safety pin on the floor near my feet?
No, I don't see any. Not anywhere near around.
And I swallowed it.
What?
Get a doctor, quick. I swallowed a safety pin.
What makes you think you did?
I had it in my mouth, pinning patterns. When Wilcox... Oh, get the doctor, quick.
Heavenly days, maybe I better lie down on the couch.
No, I don't dare move. It might spring open in me.
Oh, this is terrible. Hello, operator, quick. Give me Dr. J. Ramsey Gamble and the... No, Myrtle, not now. Get me the doctor.
Tell him to bring a small cork. Maybe I can swallow the cork and turn a few somersaults. Get the cork stuck on the end of the pin so I can...
Hello, doctor. Mrs. McGee, my husband swallowed the safety pin. What? No, he wasn't. We haven't got a baby. No. Well, hurry right over, doctor. Thank you. He said lie quietly, McGee, till he got here.
What do you think I was going to do? Organize a softball team? Oh, why did I ever say I was smart? Why did I ever get myself into such a debility?
Oh, my goodness, the doctor got here quick. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Oh, hi, Wimp.
My goodness, what's the matter with Mr. McGee?
Well, he swallowed a safety pin, Mr. Wimple.
He did? Does he like safety pins?
No, I don't like safety pins. I swallowed it inadvertently. Oh.
If there's anything I can do for him, I'm on the way to the drugstore anyway, Mrs. McGee.
No, thank you, Mr. Wimple. The doctor's on his way over. He says he just has one stop and he'll be here.
If it's Dr. Gamble, he's stopping at our house first.
Is your wife sick, Wimple?
Who, Sweetie Face? Oh, no, Mr. McGee. She's as strong as a horse. Stronger, even.
Stronger?
Yes. She was riding horseback yesterday, and the horse threw Sweetie Face over a fence.
Ooh.
So Sweetie Face came back, picked up the horse, and threw him over the fence.
Well, and why is Dr. Gamble coming to your house, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, one of Sweetie Face's wrestling and boxing students needs medical attention, Mrs. McGee.
What kind of medical attention, Wimp?
Oh, Sweetie Face gave him a rabbit punch, and for 2 hours he's been sitting on the floor, wiggling his ears and twitching his nose. His eyes are pink, too.
Oh, how sweet. You know, she ought to keep him like that over Easter.
The trouble with Sweetie Face is she knows her own strength. Mm-hmm. Are you sure I can't get you anything at the drugstore, folks?
No, thanks, Wimp, old man.
Won't be any trouble. All I'm going for is to get some gunpowder.
Gunpowder?
Yes. I use it to brush my teeth with.
What's the idea?
It's the only way I can shoot my mouth off around our house. Well, I hope to find a finger back.
The King's Men and the Song of the Merchant Marine.
Heave-ho, my lads, heave-ho. It's a long, long way to go. It's a long, long pull with our hatches full, braving a wind, braving a sea, fighting a dangerous foe. Heave-ho, my lads, heave-ho. Let the sea roll high or low. We can cross any ocean, sail any river. Give us the goods and we'll deliver down the submarine. We're the men of the merchant marine. I've carried guns to the Solomons and bombs to Tripoli. I've carried wheat for the boys to eat from Nome to the Coral Sea. I've sailed with planes to Liverpool and Leningrad with tanks. I made it through to Ireland too, with a regiment of Yanks. I burned my feet with the deck plate's heat and froze them with the cold, while dodging subs in rusty pub with nitro in the hold. Heave-ho, my lads, heave-ho, let the sea roll high or low. We can cross any ocean, sail any river, give us the goods and we'll deliver anywhere. You will find the Merchant Marine, we'll be there.
Well, now, the doctor ought to be here any minute, McGee. How do you feel?
I don't know. Kind of numb. Have I been unconscious?
Yes, for about 10 minutes.
Oh.
And it was the loudest case of unconsciousness I ever heard. Did you swallow a safety pin or a sawmill?
Fine thing. Here I go, make myself an object of ridicule by trying to help you make a dress and all.
Hey, incidentally, what'd you do to that pattern? There's some pieces of it I never saw before.
Well, maybe some of them got torn, too, when the wind blew them around.
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
There's one piece of pattern that's shaped like no part of me that anyone ever told me about. Several of them are... Come in.
Shut the door.
Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Well, where's the human scrap pile?
You think you're going to have to operate, Doc?
Now. Stop shaking, McGee. Swallowing a safety pin isn't necessarily fatal, you know.
Oh, do you think he really swallowed it, Doctor?
My goodness, I almost hope so.
Oh, you hope so?
Yes. I've just invented a new instrument for extracting swallowed objects.
Oh.
I call it the Gamble Grab. I'm awfully anxious to try it out on somebody. I've been buying the little boys in the neighborhood marbles all spring, but nothing has happened yet. Take off your pants, McGee.
You don't understand, Doc. I didn't sit on it. I swallowed it.
Stop arguing. Take off your pants.
Now, listen, don't look like that, McGee. Your purple shorts are an old story to me. Do what the doctor said.
Okay.
What was he doing when he swallowed this safety pin, Mrs. McGee?
Cutting out a dress.
Cutting out a dress? What were you doing, playing pool at the Elks?
Well, he was doing it for me, Doctor. He said there was nothing to it if a person had brains, so I...
Okay, Doc, you want to examine me?
No, I want to examine the pants.
Huh?
Just as I thought. Here's your safety pin.
Heavenly days, where was it?
Where I usually find things men think they've swallowed. In the cuff of his pants.
Boy, is that a relief. Well, I'm sorry to have brought you clear over here on a wild goose chase, Doc.
Wasn't a wild goose chase at all, my boy. My bill will still be $7.
What do you mean, why, certainly? He didn't do anything, did he?
Oh, now, listen, don't pay any attention to him, Doctor. You know, he's so relieved at finding that safety pin, he doesn't know what he's saying.
Oh, no. Well, I ain't paying any $7 for having a pin took out of the cuff of my pants. That's robbery.
Now, look here, you ungrateful little nature faker. Oh. If you think I enjoy neglecting some really sick people to take care of a hypochondriac like you...
Who's a hypochondriac?
You are.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so.
It is, huh?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Molly. What's a hypochondriac?
It's somebody who always has imaginary ailments.
Is that right, Doc?
Certainly. You're as healthy as a goat. You've never called me yet when there was really something wrong.
You hear that, Molly?
Yes, why?
Because he's just admitted he's being charged me for treatments when there was nothing the matter with me. I'm going to report him to the American Medicinal Association for malnutrition.
You mean malpractice, McGee. You can never get me on a malnutrition charge.
Why couldn't he, Doctor?
Why couldn't he? Because I'm thoroughly fed up. Good day.
Well, I guess I gave him a good scare at that, didn't I?
Oh, sure. He's frightened out of his wits. Now, come on, McGee. Help me make sense out of this pattern. Look at this piece here.
Well, that's part of the insert that goes under the... No, it isn't either. Is there a number on it? All the pieces are numbered.
Yes. This is B17.
B17. Well, that can't go next to B18 because that's part of the shoulder. Hey, what's this one here?
P38. Doesn't fit any place. Look at the shape of it. McGee, I'm sorry I ever asked you to do this for me.
You're sorry? My gosh. Say, there's about 12 more pieces of this pattern than there was when I started. Did you add some?
No, I didn't, but it must make sense somehow. Let's piece them together and see how far we get.
Okay. This goes on. That won't go on top. You can't fit these...
Oh, I give up, McGee. It's hopeless.
I'm darned if I know what happened. If you ever got that thing together and wore it, you'd look like you were going to a costume party at the wreck of the Hesperus. Found them.
Oh, dear. Come in.
Hi, Mister. Hi, Miss McGee.
Sis, I told you once today I'm busy. Now beat it.
You won't help me build my model airplanes, Mister?
No.
Well, then can I please have my patterns back? I left them on the floor when I was here the last time.
There are three places in your home where you might very likely be using linoleum. One, of course, is the kitchen. The second is the bathroom. The third is the front entrance hall. All three of these spots are apt to have extra heavy wear exposed to dirt and dampness. Two of them are your front line trenches against the weather and wet, muddy feet. Good linoleum is ideal floor covering for such places. And Johnson's self-polishing glow coat is the ideal way to keep such linoleum clean, sparkling, and long-wearing. Glow coat, as you may know, makes linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer than if it were unprotected. That's important today when replacements of all things are more difficult. Glow coat also saves you hours of cleaning time. It takes no rubbing or buffing. It's completely self-polishing. Dirt and spilled things wipe up in a jiffy. If you're not already using Johnson's self-polishing glow coat for all of your linoleum floor coverings, I suggest that you try it.
Well, McGee, thanks to you, I'll have to wear an old dress next Thursday.
What happens next Thursday?
How many days have you forgotten?
Huh?
We're visiting the Kraft Music Hall.
Oh, my gosh, how could I forget that? Especially after that swell telegram they sent me.
Oh, what was that? You didn't tell me.
I didn't? Oh, it said something about how glad they'd be to see you, and in my case, how the biggest cheese of all goes to the Kraft Music Hall. I thought that was pretty nice.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, don't you? Oh, I get it. Good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of Wallace Wimple and the Old-Timer heard on our program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents the Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, do the men in your family think flavor is the most important virtue of the food you serve? Well, you homemakers know that nutrition is equally important. And that's why Parquet, the quality margarine made by Kraft, is so popular with so many American families. For Parquet margarine is a wonderful red ration stamp value in both flavor and nutrition. It requires just 5 red ration points a pound, and it has a delicate, appetizing flavor that really satisfies. As a spread for bread and a seasoning for hot-cooked vegetables, I think you'll agree that Parquet flavor is just about tops. Cakes and cookies taste better when made with Parquet margarine, too, because it's a real flavor shortening, and you like it for pan frying because it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. What's more, Parquet is highly nutritious. In fact, it's one of the best energy foods you can serve. And it's a reliable year-round source of vitamin A. So for flavor, for economy, and for good nutrition, ask your dealer for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now, on to Summerfield and the Great Gildersleeve. It's the last day of May, just 4 weeks before his wedding day, and Gildersleeve is a busy, busy man. This morning, while others make preparations for the Memorial Day exercises, the great man is in his study straightening out his affairs and clearing the decks for matrimony. So we find him now with pen in hand, laboring over the composition of a mighty document.
I, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, being of sound mind and body, do hereby devise and bequeath...
Uncle Lloyd, excuse me.
Yes, Marjorie?
Come out and see it.
Come out and see what?
The flag. We've got it out.
Oh, well, a little while, my dear. Right now, I'm very...
Come on. You aren't doing anything. And it looks so pretty.
Not doing anything. My dear young lady, I happen to be engaged in one of the most solemn duties of a man's lifetime. Do you know what I'm writing?
Oh, fool. Anybody think it was your last will and testament? Now, come on.
But, hey, let go.
Come on.
Well, let me put down my pen first. I don't know what there is such a rush about anyway. I've seen the flag before.
Well, we found a new place for it, and we want you to see it.
Oh, where?
We hung it from the roof.
How did you ever get it up there?
And Leroy climbed out the attic window. Come out in the yard and tell us if you like it.
Well...
We want the place to look nice when the parade goes by.
Oh, and Leila's coming over, too.
Good. So's Ben. And Bertie planned a wonderful lunch. There. Do you like the flag, Jen?
I'm going to look to your artistic eye, Unc.
Well, it looks fine, Leroy. Only for heaven's sakes, be careful up there.
Don't worry.
Isn't it pretty? I think ours is the prettiest house on the street, don't you?
Yeah, but I wish Leroy would get down off that roof.
Hey, I'm a tightrope walker. Look, everybody. A great concolino. Leroy!
Leroy, get off of that railing.
Oh, I can't look.
Young man, you get in off that roof before I come up there after you.
Are you kidding?
Leroy, you heard me.
Okay, I'm right down.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Be careful now, my boy. That crazy kid.
Honestly, what comes over, boy?
I don't know. It's a wonder to me he's lived as long as he has. Oh, that reminds me. I got to get back to work. Call me when it's time for the parade.
Oh, we won't be along for an hour yet.
Parades, tightrope walkers, more interruptions. People just left me alone till I get this will finished. Will. Leroy's the one who should make the will. The great concolino. Oh, brother. Let me see now. I, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, being of sound mind and body, do hereby devise and bequeath to my lawfully wedded wife, no, to my dearly beloved wife, my dearly beloved wife. Come in, beloved.
Hi, Gildy.
Yep. Hooker. What do you want? What on earth are you dressed up for? An admiral?
I'm leading the parade today, Grand Marshal. Just stopped over to ask if you wouldn't join us.
In the parade?
Yeah.
You mean march?
Yes.
On foot?
Well, I suppose you could go on your hands and knees.
Oh, no, Judge. I'm not much on marching. My feet.
You've got to, Gildy. All the younger men are gone this year, and we want them to have a nice turnout.
Well, I guess I can certainly keep up with you, you old goat. I'll tell you, I'll do it on one condition.
What's that?
If you'll help me with my will.
You're drawing up a will?
Sure. Got a little start on it right here.
It's here. I, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, being of sound mind and body. Gildy, mind if I ask a question?
What?
What makes you think you're of sound mind?
Huh?
And look at that body.
Never mind the priceless wit, Hooker. You don't want to help me, don't.
Now, Gildy, I should be delighted to draw up your will for you at any other time. Right now, I've got to get down to City Hall. How about this afternoon?
Well, all right, then.
See you down at the parade. Oh, Gildy, there's one thing that just occurred to me.
Yes?
On second thought, you might prefer to have another attorney handle your will for you.
Why, Judge?
Well, I don't like to bring this up, but we're old friends, aren't we, Gildy?
Yes, we are.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we?
Yes, we've been through all that before, too. What's on your mind?
Well, you may not be aware of this, but under the law, it is illegal for persons witnessing or drawing up a will to be beneficiaries. I merely mentioned this.
Why?
Well, we're such old friends, and we've been through so much together. I just thought if you should want to leave me some slight remembrance.
Judge, I'm going to leave you a lock of my hair.
Hey, Unc, isn't it about time you were starting for the parade?
Keep your shirt on, my boy. Parades never start on time. Isn't that right, Ben?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. I thought we were just going to watch it go by the house here.
Well, you are, but I'm going to march in it.
Oh, I didn't know that. What war were you in?
I was in World War I, Ben.
Oh, sure. Did you get to France, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I should say I did, my boy. Paris. I wonder if you'll get over there.
I suppose I might.
Yes. Well, if you do, I wonder if... Leroy, will you go help your sister for a minute?
Help her what? She ain't doing anything.
She's not doing anything.
That's what I said.
Never mind. Go away. Go upstairs and bring down that picture of me in my uniform so I can show Ben.
Okay.
And tell Marjorie to hurry down here. Ben will walk out of it.
Yeah, fat chance.
What was I saying, Ben?
Something about France, I think.
Oh, yes. If you should get to Paris, my boy, I want you to go to a certain number on a certain street and ask a certain party if she remembers Monsieur Gildersleeve. Beau Yank, she used to call me. Will you look her up, Ben?
Sure, Mr. Gildersleeve, only I can't speak any French to speak of.
Well, when I first met her, I couldn't either. But inside of a week, comment ça va, parlez-vous français, l'amour toujours l'amour. You get the idea?
Oui, oui.
Oh, she was a lovely creature, Ben. And her mother. Oh, boy, how she could cook. I think you'll like her, Ben.
Sure.
She's a blonde, just 28 years old in 1918. Let me see. That would make her
53.
It's not possible. Oh, my goodness, how time flies.
Here's the picture, Unc. The boy commando in person.
I don't care to see it now, Leroy. 53. Poor Mimi. I can't believe it.
Gosh, Unc, what's the matter?
Nothing. Go help Marjorie.
For Pete's sake, aren't you through talking about Paris?
Leroy, you're getting too fresh. Well, that's Mrs. Ransom. We have a little signal. In here, Leila.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, sweetheart.
I think the flag out in front looks just beautiful.
Leila, I've got a surprise for you. I'm going to march in the parade.
That's right, Martin. How exciting.
Would you like to see his picture in uniform, Mrs. Ransom?
Leroy, give me that.
Oh, now, Throckmorton, I want to see it. Oh, why, you were cute in your uniform.
Cute?
Wasn't he, Ben?
Well, just let it go, my boy.
Well, I don't understand the insignia on your uniform, Throckmorton. Beauregard used to have leaves here on the shoulder.
Leave? Oh, well, I didn't go into the Army at the top. I went in as a private and won my promotion the hard way.
How'd you come out, Unc?
Corporal. Well, I've got to get started if I'm going to be in the parade. The boys are assembling behind the courthouse to the left. Goodbye, Leila. I'm off to the war.
Oh, wait a minute, Throckmorton.
What's the matter?
You're not going to march in the parade in just that little old business suit, are you?
For what else?
Well, your uniform, silly.
Oh, I couldn't, Leila.
Oh, but you'd look so distinguished.
It would look out of date, Leila. The uniforms today are entirely different.
Oh, Throckmorton, you never do anything I ask you.
I do, too, Leila. I just don't know where my uniform is.
I know, Unc. It's up in the attic.
Leroy.
Oh, good for you, Leroy. Please, Throckmorton, for Leila.
All right. Leroy, you come with me. Little sharp eyes. Well, which trunk is it in, Leroy?
This one over here, Unc.
That one? I haven't got the key to that. I guess we'll just have to let the uniform go.
Don't worry, Unc. It's open.
Mothballs. Come on, Leroy. Fish it out of there. I haven't got all day.
Here's the pants. Gosh, they look a little small, Unc.
Yeah, well, this stuff shrinks, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. Besides, mothballs will shrink anything, Leroy. Well, I don't find any puttees in here. maybe we just better let the pants go.
Okay, here's the coat.
Blouse, Leroy, blouse.
Oh, blouse. Funny how it looks as if the mothballs cut that down, too.
What did I tell you? Well, I think maybe I can get into it, though. Here, hold my coat.
Okay.
Probably be a little tight, but it'll sort of give a military effect. See? I got it on.
Yeah, but can you button it?
Oh, of course. You ought to remember that when I was in France, I weighed several pounds less than I do today.
Are you kidding?
By George, it feels good to get back in the old uniform. Come on, Leroy, let's show the ladies. Well, folks, what do you think of it?
Throckmorton, what in the world happened to the trousers? They were shut off.
Leroy, quiet. No puttees, Leila. Can't wear them without puttees.
Oh, well, the coat looks awfully military. I think you'll be the handsomest man in the whole parade. I honestly do.
Oh, well, that's all I wanted to know, Leila. Well, I'm off. I kiss your hand, fair lady.
Oh, don't bend over.
Well, I'm glad I didn't try to wear the pants.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few seconds. Meanwhile, instead of saying more about parquet, the quality margarine made by Kraft, I'd like to say right here and now, hats off to the man who sells parquet, your neighborhood grocer. If point rationing is causing you occasional headaches, remember that rationing is a major problem for your grocer hundreds of times each day. In fact, he deserves real credit if his disposition isn't tattered and worn, what with getting to work so early in the morning to arrange his stock for you and working far into the night every night to sort his stamps and plan his ordering. He has endless records and reports to fill out, too. Yes, your food dealer is an important workman on the home front, and he merits the help and the cooperation of all of us. You see, most of the foods he buys and sells are rationed to him, too. He has to budget his ration stamps in order to buy many of the things you buy from him. So why not help yourself and help him at the same time by planning family menus several days in advance and by shopping early in the week and early in the day? Your friend the grocer will appreciate it. Now let's get back to the Great Gildersleeve. Clad in the conservative business suit, he's marched valiantly in the hot sun, and now he's arriving at his home to claim the soldier's reward. In this case, a share of the delicious lunch which Bertie's promised. But our hero's a little late, and the house seems strangely quiet.
Marjorie, Leroy, where is everybody?
Is that you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Of course it's me, Bertie. Where is everybody?
Well, they waited for you, Mr. Gildersleeve. They waited about 2 hours before they had lunch. You've been marching all this time?
Oh, yes, Bertie. I marched so far, my feet are killing me. When I'm so hungry, I don't care.
Well, you just sit down and take your shoes off, Mr. Gildersleeve, and I'll warm up a nice lunch for you right away.
Thank you, Bertie.
How did you march so well, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, it wasn't all marching, Bertie. We stood there in the park for a couple of hours listening to the speeches. But it certainly was impressive. Makes a man think, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to be remembered by everyone as a man who did something for the city.
Well, sir, you're the head man at the waterworks.
Well, I'm Summerfield's 16th water commissioner, yes. But a few years from now, who'll know it? That's what I've been thinking about some sort of a monument for, Bertie.
You mean like a statue?
Well, I don't know. You think that'd be good?
Oh, no, sir. I don't care much for statues. Now, you take them 2 statues in the park. Every time I walk past Abraham Lincoln standing there, I feel sorry for him.
Why?
Because he's been standing there so long.
Yes. What about the statue of General Fremont? Don't you like that?
No, sir. Every time I go past that, I get mad.
But why?
Because he's got a horse and I'm walking. And he ain't even going nowhere.
Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid you just don't like sculpture, though, Bertie.
Oh, yes, I do, Mr. Gildersleeve. You know what I like?
What?
That fountain in front of the courthouse with the water spraying down and the goldfish swimming around down below. I like that.
So do I. By George, a fountain, Bertie. For a water commissioner, what could be better? With a little bronze plaque on it. Not too little, Let's see. This fountain presented to the city by Summerfield's 16th Water Commissioner, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Then maybe some short, dignified statement like, he served his fellow townsmen well.
Sounds mighty pretty, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, sir. I can hear the water splashing in the fountain right now.
So can I. Oh, my goodness, the gravy's boiling over.
Yeah. Gravy? Bertie, I'm starving.
Well, hang on, Mr. Gildersleeve. You can't starve to death till you get that monument.
Yeah, you're right, Bertie. I'm going to have Judge Hooker put in that fountain in my will right now.
Throckmorton, let me ask you something. Why are you suddenly in such a sweat to make a will after letting it go all this time?
Well, for one thing, I think it's a man's duty to make a will, for one thing.
Yeah? What else?
Well, Leila mentioned it once or twice.
Oh.
And anyhow, I think it's a man's duty. You can't tell. Things can happen. Here I am about to get married.
Gildy, it strikes me that you're preparing for marriage as if you were preparing for the next world.
No, see here, Hooker. That's not true.
All right. Sorry. Not true, but I shouldn't have said it.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Time to draw up this will. I'm going to require certain information.
Such as what?
Well, to begin with, how much money have you got?
Don't you wish you knew?
Well, I've got to know.
What for?
Gildy, if you want me to help you with your will, you've got to take me into your confidence.
Well, all right, Judge. What do you want to know?
I ask you, how much money have you got?
None of your business. If I tell you, you'll tell everybody in town.
Gildy, what passes between a lawyer and his client is strictly confidential. You know that. Come on now. How much have you got?
Cash?
Cash.
Well, in the neighborhood of $500.
In the neighborhood?
Yes. Small neighborhood, isn't it?
It's all right, Gildy. We're neighbors.
Oh, you too?
I'd be lucky if I could put my hands on $300 right now.
Well, to be perfectly frank with you, Judge, I've got just $275. And that's not counting the bills that'll be pouring in tomorrow.
Isn't it terrible?
Terrible, the way things are. A man's lucky if he can stay out of jail.
Now, let's see. The insurance. Now, what about the rest? What about Leila? Of course, she has her own money.
Yes. I'll tell you what I thought, Horace. I thought it'd be nice to endow a small memorial.
A memorial?
Yeah, a fountain, perhaps. A memorial fountain.
Memorial to what?
Well, to the two of us. Me being water commissioner, I think a fountain would be kind of appropriate, don't you? You know, with water coming out.
Throckmorton, may I ask what you propose to endow this fountain with?
Well, with my residuary estate. With the $275. Don't you think you could buy a fountain for that?
Wouldn't be any Niagara. I think you'd be lucky to get a bird bath.
Oh. You do, huh? Well, you know, Judge, you may think you're joking, but a bird bath isn't such a bad idea.
Oh, now, Gildy.
I mean it. I've always been fond of birds. Birds like me, too. They come right up to me sometimes. And Leila's crazy about birds. She's got a little bitty wren that's building a nest in her front porch right now. Every morning she goes out and peeks at it. Yes, sir, man could do worse than have the birds remember him. Birds are man's truest friends.
I thought dogs were man's truest friends.
I'm not building any dog bath. Horace, how soon could you get this will drawn up?
Well, that shouldn't take much time. Of course, we need witnesses. I guess I'd get my secretary for one.
Oh, and Peavy. Peavy do it. I know he's open this afternoon because Leroy's working for him. Do you think you could get it ready?
What's the rush?
Well, I'd just like to have it, Judge. I'm going over to Leila's tonight, and I'd sort of like to surprise her with it.
You'll surprise her, all right.
Hi, Unc. Hi, Judge.
Hello, Leroy. How's the drug business?
Pretty quiet. The chief is out in the prescription room, and you know what that means.
What? Leroy, that's no way to talk about Mr. Peavy. I'd like to see him for a moment, please.
Oh, gosh, Unc, can't I wait on you? I never get a chance to sell medicine. But with you, it wouldn't matter if I made a mistake.
I disagree, my boy.
Oh, just try me, Unc. I can find you anything in the store, practically.
Then find Mr. Peavy.
Honest, Unc, the chief doesn't like it if I bother him about something I can handle myself.
Leroy.
What?
Wake up the chief.
Oh, all right.
Maybe we shouldn't bother Peavy if he wants to sleep.
What nonsense. Peavy sleeps 24 hours a day anyway. Oh, hello, Peavy. I hope we didn't interrupt anything important.
No, I'll just take care of you, gentlemen, and then I can get right back to it. How are you, Judge?
Fine, thank you, Peavy.
I saw you, gentlemen, in the parade this morning. Thought you both looked very dashing.
Well, glad to do our bit, Peavy. How does it happen you weren't marching? Someone told me you were an ex-soldier.
Yes, sir. I was in the artillery. 49th Field Artillery, USA.
Well, I'll be darned. Were you a gunner?
No, I wasn't a gunner. I was in what you might call the transportation end of the artillery.
Oh, what's that?
I commanded a platoon of mules.
You? That's hard to believe, Peavy. Why, the mule is the stubbornest animal known to man.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Although a mule has a mind of his own, I'll admit. But they're hard workers.
They are?
Yes, they're hard workers. And they're loyal. Every mule in my platoon was just as loyal as a jackass could be.
Gildersleeve, can't we get down to business here? I haven't time to listen to Peavy's military experience.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm just going on. What can I do for you?
Well, you won't make a penny on it, Peavy. We just want you to witness Mr. Gildersleeve's will, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Judge. Glad to be of service. Oh, Leroy.
Yes, Chief?
This is the type of service I was telling you about yesterday. Institutional type.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got the document with you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Right here, Peavy.
Get away, Leroy. This is none of your business.
Unc, did you leave me anything?
You've been amply provided for. Sign right here, Peavy.
Unc, will you leave me your pistol that's in your bureau drawer?
No.
Oh, please, Unc.
No, Leroy. Remember lesson 1. The customer is always right.
Oh, sorry, Chief. I forgot.
All right. Now, here, Judge.
That's it.
Richard. Peavy. Here you are, Mr. Gildersleeve, and I hope your will gives you the same lasting satisfaction as mine has given me.
Well, I hope so, too.
I executed my will in 1913, naming my wife as sole beneficiary, and I've never wanted to change a syllable of it. Neither has Mrs. Peavy.
Well, I can imagine. Well, much obliged, Peavy. We got to be running along now.
No, I'm going to close up here myself in a minute. Leroy, you want to go along now with your uncle?
Are you sure you can spare me?
I think so.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Chief.
Good night, little beaver.
But soon there'll just be two of us. Soon you and I will borrow the moon, or just the two of us, sweetly and so discreetly, we'll be completely alone. No other world, only our own. Now we must be contented with schemes about the two of us. Yes, we can have our sweet scented dreams that will come true of us. For presently and pleasantly, our hearts will be in tune. So soon, maybe not tomorrow, Leila, but soon. Leila.
Yes, Throckmorton.
I made my will today, Leila.
Oh, did you, darling? How nice.
Yeah, have it right here in my pocket. Leila, you know something?
What, darling?
Guess who's in my will?
Oh, I couldn't.
Go on, Leila. Guess, will you?
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I'm too happy to guess. I'm too happy to care about anything.
Well, then I'll tell you, darling.
Yes, you tell me.
You know that little bird that has a nest in your porch? You know the one that sings under your window every morning?
Oh, Dickie Bird. I call him Dickie Bird.
Yeah, Dickie Bird. That Dickie Bird has been provided for, Leila. It's all right here in the will.
Oh, Throckmorton, that's just like you to remember little birds.
See? It's all written out right here.
Oh, darling, you have to explain it to me. I don't understand about wills and complicated things like that.
Oh, well, sweetheart, in memory of both of us, I'm leaving money for a municipal bird bath.
Oh, really, Throckmorton? You're the most thoughtful man. Now, did you say bird bath?
Yes, dear.
You're leaving your money for a bird bath?
That's right, honey.
All of it?
Well, not all of it. All that's left after taking care of the children.
You mean to stand there and tell me you've made a bird your residuary legatee?
Leila, I thought you didn't know anything about wills.
Well, I wasn't married to a lawyer 7 years for nothing.
But, sweetheart, I thought you liked birds.
I do, Throckmorton, but you're nothing but a cuckoo.
Leila! Gets all upset over a bird. Leila! Can't you take a little joke?
You mean you were joking?
Of course, darling. I'm not going to build any bird bath. Tell me, how would you invest the money?
Well, when I'm in doubt about a financial problem, I always ask myself, what would Beauregard do?
Beauregard? Well, if you ask Beauregard what I should do about this...
No, but I think I know what he'd say.
What?
He'd say, Leila, child, you'd look lovely in a mink coat.
Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to listen in again next Sunday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
You women are looking for extender recipes these days and all kinds of ways to make the less plentiful foods go further. Well, do you know about the product called Kraft Dinner? All by itself, a package of Kraft Dinner gives you a swell macaroni and cheese main dish fast. Enough macaroni and cheese for 4 people. And for it, you put out just one single red ration point. Now, if you have a little meat or some leftover chicken or seafood, you can extend it by adding it to the Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese. Or you can mold the hot Kraft Dinner into a ring and in the center serve your small amount of meat or what have you, creamed. Each package of Kraft Dinner holds a quick cooking macaroni and some Kraft grated to put cheese flavor through and through the fluffy macaroni in a jiffy. Get some soon so that you can cook a macaroni and cheese dish in 7 minutes or use it as an extender of less plentiful food. Remember, it's Kraft Dinner. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Carnew, and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. May, the traditional month for spring house cleaning, is only 4 days away. In many homes this year, women won't be able to do so very much of that extra cleaning. War work, civilian defense, Red Cross, Victory Gardens, all these important activities are number 1 obligations. But in most of those homes, there's a silent partner helping to cut down on housekeeping work, helping to protect floors, furniture, and woodwork.
That silent partner is Johnson's Wax. Day after day, month after month, it guards all kinds of surfaces, wood, leather, metal, against wear and dirt. An occasional application of either paste or liquid Johnson's Wax gives not only protection, but great beauty to your home. Rooms can be kept in tip-top shape with less work. Many spring house cleaning chores become unnecessary. At no time in its more than 50 years of service has genuine Johnson's Wax been more helpful to homemakers than right now. When a man is all out of meat coupons and is hungry for a big, thick steak, his mouth is liable to water so much it drowns his conscience. So, as we glance down the alley behind the pool hall in Wistful Vista, we find a little business deal going on between a man who shall be nameless, though there is a number waiting for him, and an old friend of ours, Mr. McGee, of Fibber, McGee and Molly.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. A big, thick porterhouse. Wait till Molly loops a lip over this. I can hardly wait to fling a fang into it myself, bud. You sure this is good and tender, Mr.
Just call me Eddie, chum. Oh. And don't worry about the steak. You just take it home, cook it about 45 minutes, smother it with onions, load it up with ketchup, and you never ate nothing like it. That'll be $5.
$5?
Sure, you could have a 3 pounds of steak there, Doc.
Yeah, but the ceiling price is away.
Yeah, don't give me that ceiling price business, Doc. I'm an alley butcher, and alleys don't have no ceilings.
Oh, I just thought $5.
I ain't charging no sales tax, am I?
Well, no, but...
I didn't ask you for no coupons, did I?
No, but, gee, I thought... Well, gee, I thought at least I'd like to have seen it before you wrapped it up so I could tell.
No, don't worry, Doc. That steak will make your eyes water. I mean your mouth. And look, if any of your friends need anything, tell them to ask for Eddie, see?
Oh, okay, Eddie. Well, I guess I better trot home and get this steak on ice.
You ain't kidding, brother.
Huh?
I says no kidding, Doc. You're going to enjoy that steak. Well, so long.
So long, and much obliged, Eddie. Oh, boy, a 3-pound porterhouse. Don't catch me standing in line like a dummy. When I want something bad, I get it.
McGee, where are you?
Here I am, Molly. I just put something in the refrigerator. It's a surprise for dinner tonight.
Oh, a surprise.
Yeah.
Has one of your friends been on a hunting trip?
Oh, but I have. This is really going to knock you over, baby.
McGee, have you been buying Limburger cheese again?
No, sir. This is something you love. And don't ask me what it is. It's a surprise. And don't you go opening the package.
Well, how I know which package not to open?
Well, it's wrapped in newspaper and fastened with a piece of tire tape. It's about this big. Who's that?
Let me peek. Uh-oh. It's Abigail Uppington.
What's that old bat looking for? A belfry? Hey, now, don't ask her for dinner. She eats too much.
I know she does. You know, whenever I see anybody with a carriage like hers, I know they eat like a horse. Come in. Well, for goodness sakes, Abigail, dear, what a surprise.
How do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. That's quite a fur jacket you got there. You look like a perpendicular fox farm. Hey, what's the matter with you, Uppy? If you looked any more upset, you'd have to walk on your hands.
Oh, I am perturbed, Mr. McGee. Oh. I'm having a group of naval officers to dinner tonight.
Oh, well, they're used to having dinner in a mess. What's wrong, Abigail?
Oh, everything, my dear. I can't buy any meat.
Oh, my.
My butcher is entirely out. He says the black market is taking so much meat that the legitimate dealers have a hard time getting their quota.
Well, be that as it may be or may not be or not, Uppy. It's all in knowing the right people. I can arrange for you to get some meat.
What do you know about meat, McGee? You always thought Chuck Beef was off a steer named Charlie.
I just know my way around, that's all. If anybody wants meat, I know where they can get it. Now, look, Uppy, you're an old pal of mine.
Let's say acquaintance, Miss McGee. My regard for you falls somewhat short of complete adoration.
It does? Well, that's darn decent of you, Uppy. I always spoke well of you, too. Now, look, you know where the pool hall is on 14th Street, next door to the Friend in Need pawn shop?
Why, certainly I know where I believe I could locate it.
Well, All you got to do is go down there, duck up the alley.
Are you suggesting that Abigail duck up an alley, McGee?
Well, how does she usually go up alleys? On a calliope? Just sneak up the alley, Uppy, when nobody is watching, and there's a door at the end, see? You just whistle twice like a snipe. And a guy named Eddie will open the door. You tell him that...
Mr. McGee, this sounds suspiciously like the black market to me.
Don't be silly. This ain't a market at all. It's just a back room off the pool hall. And it ain't black. It's kind of a bilious green. There used to be a bookmaker in there, and he
McGee,
was...
how do you know all about this?
How do I know anything?
I have often wondered.
Oh, I just go around with my ears and eyes to the ground, that's all. Now, look, Uppy, when you see this guy, Eddie, he whistles like a snipe, you see? You tell him you know me. You don't need any coupons.
McGee, I don't like this.
Well, gee whiz, if you really want meat bad enough, you got to do
I
something.
don't want meat badly enough to patronize a back alley dealer, Miss McGee. Do you think I could face those servicemen tonight after dealing in the black market?
Oh, my gosh, Uppy, you
Do
said
you
you didn't...
think that I would have the unmitigated effrontery to invite servicemen to dinner and serve them meat which was practically stolen from law-abiding citizens?
Oh, gee whiz,
to offer them something which was damaging the legitimate business of the country they're fighting for?
Well, gee whiz.
If you do, Miss McGee, you know as much about me as a hyena knows about international law. And if you've read the reports from Japan the last few days, you know how much that is. Goodbye.
So you see, Molly, that's why I can't tell you about Eddie. It's a secret.
Well, all right, but I wish you wouldn't recommend this, Eddie, whoever he is, to our friends. He sounds pretty illegal to me.
Well, so what? Nobody thought anything of recommending a bootlegger in Prohibition, did they?
Well, that was violating a law that everybody knew would be repealed. Nobody can repeal a war, dearie. This is a serious business. Speaking of Prohibition, have you seen Uncle Dennis tonight?
I don't think he's in yet.
Oh, dear. You know, sometimes I worry about him.
Yeah, so do I. He's like having an old shotgun around the house. You never know when he's loaded. Hey, ain't it about time for dinner? I'm going to cook it, you know.
You're going to cook the dinner?
Sure. How are we fixed for onions?
We're just out. I looked this morning and...
Come in.
Hello there, kid.
Oh, hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hi, old-timer, you old fossil. Haul up a chair and give your friend Arthur one, too.
Arthur who?
Arthritis. Did you get it, Mommy? I says, give your friend Arthur a chair, and he says, Arthur who? And I says,
Ain't funny, McGee.
That's odd. I pulled that one at the Elks this morning, and they killed themselves.
I don't blame them, Johnny. They have nothing more to live for.
How are you making out with meat rationing, old-timer?
I don't pay any attention to it, Johnny.
Oh.
As the suit salesman said when he seen a 44 stub wouldn't fit his customer, I'll get along.
Ah, dear, the Elks can have that one, too.
Well, I was going to say, old-timer, if you ever run short of meat, I know a guy.
Ah, don't worry about me, Johnny. I never eat the stuff.
Oh, you're a vegetarian, eh?
Sure am, Johnny. Can't stand the sight of them.
Well, if you don't eat meat or vegetables, what do you live on?
Got a little pension, daughter. Not much. but it keeps me going.
She means, what do you eat?
Just breakfast and dinner, usually, Johnny. You see...
No. What do you have for meals?
Oh, fella next door, most of the time. He comes over, brings a pail of
Look,
stuff.
old-timer, we're trying to find out what kind of food you eat.
Nothing but the best, Johnny. Mama made me promise once that I wouldn't eat no cheap...
Mr. Oldtimer. Look, you don't eat meat, you don't eat vegetables. What do you eat?
Chickens, daughter. Chickens and eggs. Eggs and chickens. Fried eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, shirred eggs, stuffed eggs, deviled eggs, and eggs banned in the dictionary. Roast chicken, fried chicken, stewed chicken, minced chicken, cold chicken, chicken a la king, and I threw away my alarm clock, kids.
What for?
Had so much chicken I don't eat it anymore.
Huh?
Whenever I crow in the morning, I know it's time to get up.
Now, if he'd have wanted meat, McGee, were you going to send him to Eddie in the alley?
Why, sure, I'd send him to Eddie in the alley. Eddie done me a favor, and I want to reciprocate. After all, fellas got... Hey, I got to order some onions. Give me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Jimmy Sales Grocery on the Bully, Mert. How are you, Mert?
Oh,
How's every little thing, Mert? This, eh? What's say, Mert? Your uncle. Caught a spy at the airplane factory.
good for him, McGee.
I'll say. He knocked his lunch bucket off the shelf and dropped all his sandwiches that caught his pie. What's say, Mert? Well, the guy was reaching for his pie, too. Okay, I'll call you later, Mert. Thanks, Mert.
Now, look, McGee, about this package you've got in the refrigerator, I want you to tell me exactly now what...
Hello, folks.
Good evening, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. What's cooking?
Well, the restaurant, as far as I'm concerned tonight, we're out of meat at our
Now,
house.
McGee?
Out of meat, eh? Don't worry about that, my friend. You can have a nice big steak tonight if you want it. And every night, in fact, you can have a nice big steak.
Sure, but I've already told you the Army turned me down.
Now, don't listen to McGee, Mr. Wilcox. He knows an acrobatic meat dealer.
Acrobatic?
Yes, alley up.
Now, look here, son. As it happens, I got a few connections in this town.
Yeah, you're on your way toward forming a few more, too, dearie. With derby hats and flat feet.
Oh, no. Not me. I know what I'm doing. Now, look, Junior. I happen to be in a position where I can get you all the meat I want, see? And any friend of
Hey,
mine...
what's the idea, pal? You a personal friend of the OPA?
What's OPA got to do with it? He's on information, please. Now, look. Here's all you got to do. You go down the alley next to the snooker pool room on 14th Street, see? And you whistle twice, like a snipe. When the guy opens the door, his name is Eddie. He's a friend of mine, see? You just tell him...
Hey, what is this, black market meat?
Well, if it was any blacker, it would make midnight look like high noon.
Well, gee whiz. If a guy is hungry for meat...
Well, I'm not so hungry for meat. I want to patronize a rat in an alley to get a steak.
Huh?
What's the matter with you, Fibber? I always thought you were a pretty decent guy.
Pour it on, Mr. Wilcox. Pour it on.
Oh, my gosh, what's a little thing like
It
that?
isn't a little thing, pal. This is the dirtiest racket that's come out of the war. These crooks are buying up meat and selling it illegally without any sanitation or inspection and throwing the whole business of supply and demand out of kilter. How can the Army and Navy and war workers get the meat they need when so much of it is chiseled away into the black market?
Well, yeah, but gee whiz, if I've...
You don't know where this meat came from or how old it is or what condition it's in or anything.
We ought to revise the old Spanish-American War slogan. Remember the ptomaine.
Well, now, look here, Junior. I was only trying to be helpful.
Well, I don't want that kind of help, pal.
Huh.
I buy no bacterial beef from any back alley butcher. I'll pay with coupons and know that the dealer's responsible to the government.
My very words, only louder.
When I buy things, I want to know where they come from and who's back of them and what the quality is. That's why I'm proud to be selling Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. Got a tradition of 50 years of conscientious quality behind it.
Yeah, and I know where you can get some of that, too. Just sneak up an alley and back a Racine and ask for Pete.
Why, for year after year, Johnson's self-polishing glow coat has become a household symbol of your money's worth. The way it saves hours of housework with its shines as it dries feature. The way it protects and preserves linoleum floors against dirt and dampness. You don't find any black market for products like glow coat, Fibber. Housewives are proud to be seen buying it, and dealers are proud to handle it.
Okay. Quit shouting at me. I ain't selling meat. I was only trying to help
you were only drumming up business for a few thieves, dearie. Nothing to be ashamed of course.
Well, Fibber, if I were you, I'd be ashamed of Say, what am I raving about? You couldn't have been serious. You were kidding. And I bit like a chump. Here, I thought you were actually recommending a black market. A good citizen like you. Oh, gosh. I'm going home and take off my pants and kick them all over the house.
Well, McGee, why are you so red in the face?
You know, Molly, this black market might be a serious thing at that.
Sweetheart, sometimes you're quicker witted than at other times. And this is one of the other times. Why, of course it's a serious thing.
Well, gee whiz, I still can't see why it's so doggone representative to buy a couple of pounds of steak.
You don't mean representative, you mean reprehensible.
I thought reprehensible meant being able to pick up things with your toes.
That's prehensile.
Go on. Prehensils are stuff like frying pans, kitchen prehensils.
You're thinking of utensils.
Utensils? I am not. Utensils are kind of like an appendix in your neck.
Those are your tonsils.
Well, then what's represented?
That means somebody who asks for it.
That's what I mean. Next time I want a steak, I'll send somebody else.
McGee, that package you have in the refrigerator, will you tell me truthfully just what it is?
Come in. Thank goodness.
Hi, Miss McGee.
Hi, sis. Oh, I'm mighty glad to see you all. Mighty glad. Sit down. How are conditions in the little red schoolhouse?
It isn't red of it. It's brown.
Oh, it is?
You have to make allowances for Mr. McGee, dearie. Whenever he passes the schoolhouse, he sees red.
Well, come on, sis. Don't let that throw you. Just sit up here on Uncle Fibber's lap and let's have a nice long chat, eh? What do you say?
Oh, gee, mister, I don't know. Always before you never had time to talk to me.
Well, yeah, but that...
It isn't that he wants to talk to you now either, little girl. He's just trying to put off talking to me. Go right ahead, McGee. I've got to sort out the laundry.
Okay. Well, sis, what do you know? I says, what do you know?
2 times 2 is 4, and cats have 9 lives, and kangaroos carry their babies in their pockets, and there are 10 dimes and a dollar.
Hey. What is this?
I was just telling you what I know, mister.
Huh?
And 6 times 6 is 36, and there are 48 sticks.
No. That was just a metaphorical question, sis. What I meant was, how are things in general?
All right, I guess, mister. Anyway, they don't rattle.
Huh? What don't rattle?
Things in general.
Doggone it, sis, why should things in general rattle?
'Cause he swallowed them.
Who did?
General?
Huh?
That's my puppy's name, General.
Oh.
And he swallowed a spoon and a little perfume bottle and a watch chain and a marble, but they don't rattle. I shook him and I listened.
Well, puppies are pretty hardy characters, sis.
You mean like Mickey Rooney?
What about Mickey Rooney?
He's a hardy character, too. My mama took me to the movies one night, and I saw him. Gee, he's wonderful.
Yeah, he's a good little actor, sis. Ever see me in the movies?
Well, I guess I gotta go home now, mister.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Quit ducking the issue. You ever see me in pictures?
No, but my daddy did, he said.
Oh, he did, eh? Well, what'd he say about him?
I'll see you tomorrow, mister.
Oh, no, you don't. I want to know what your old man or what your father said. Come on, now, tell me.
Oh, yeah, and get my mouth washed out with soap. Nothing doing, mister. Goodbye now.
No.
Oh, boy. Wrong door, I guess. So long, mister.
The King's Men sing Clementine.
In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, well, the miner, 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Oh, my darling, Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, very sorry, Clementine. She was light and like a fairy, and her boots were number 9. Packing cases strung with laces were the shoes for Clementine. Oh, my darling, Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, very sorry, Clementine. Oh, she was driving little ducks to water while the steeple clock was striking 9. When she caught her foot and stumbled on a root and tumbled down. my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. My Clementine. You are lost and gone forever. Dreadful sorry Clementine. Her ruby lips above the water flowing bubbles, soft and fine. Alas, I could not swim. The fisher boy said Clementine. Oh, my darling Clementine. And now she's married to the fisher boy. That's how I lost my Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my pretty little darling, oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. My Clementine. You are lost, you lost to me, and gone forever. Gone forever. Dreadful sorry Clementine. Dreadful sorry Clementine.
Tell me.
I'll tell you what, Molly.
Tell me what it is you have in the refrigerator, the package you brought home.
Oh, the package. The one I brought home,
Yeah.
you mean? Oh, that one, yeah. I know the one you mean, I think. Well, it was like this. I'll tell you later, Molly. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Wimp, old man.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. Have a nice Easter?
Oh, just splendid, Mrs. McGee. Did you see us in the Easter parade?
No, we didn't, Wimp. Did we miss something pretty spectacular?
Indeed you did, Mr. McGee. Sweetie Face was there with her new spring outfit on and violets in her hat, and there I was in my striped trousers and cutaways.
Oh, striped trousers and cutaways.
Yes, my striped trousers were cut away around the ankle so Sweetie Face could attach a chain to my leg. She's always afraid I'll run away. And I will, too.
Well, good for you, Wimp. Did you and Sweetie Face go calling Sunday afternoon?
Sweetie Face did, but I didn't.
Oh.
She had arranged an Easter egg hunt for me. She hid the eggs and told me I couldn't go outdoors till I found a dozen. Any 12 of them, she said.
How many eggs did she hide?
4. Well, I've got to be running along now, folks. I've got to go buy some meat for Sweetie Face.
Meat? Hey, look, Wimp, if you want to save your coupons, I know a guy named
Miss McGee. No, I won't have it.
I have enough coupons already, Mrs. McGee. And a good thing, too. Sweetie Face eats so much meat. Though, of course, she should right now, you know.
Why, Wimp?
Well, I suppose I shouldn't really tell, but you see, Sweetie Face is, well, she's eating for 2 now.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Mr. Wimple, isn't that wonderful?
Well, what do you know? So she's eating for 2 now, huh?
Yes, herself and me.
Huh? Have what?
The story of that package in the refrigerator.
Oh, yes, package. Well, sir, it all started way back in Peoria in 1912. Or was it 1913?
For goodness sakes, how could a package in our icebox today start back in Peoria in 1913?
It wasn't 1913. It was 1912.
What was?
The way this all started. In 1912...
Just skip that part, dearie. Get to the package in the refrigerator.
Okay, it was 1912. Years went by, and here I was in Wistful Vista, married to the most wonderful woman on earth. So one day...
Does your black market handle baloney, too? Now get to the point and stop stalling me.
Well, I was trying to. Well, sir, at 10 o'clock this morning...
Oh, dear. Come in. Oh, Dr. Gamble. Come right in, Doctor.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Fibber. Say, I left my gloves here last week, I think. Or did I?
You sure did, Doc. Here they are right here. If they'd have fit me, you'd have never got them back, too, either. You know that.
Oh, sure. Well, thanks very much, folks. Sorry I can't stop to chat, but there's an epidemic of ptomaine in town. I'm pretty rushed.
Oh, is it the water, Doctor?
No, the city water is perfectly pure, Mrs. McGee. I think it's this black market meat some people are buying. Not that any of them will admit it.
You mean the meat ain't very good, Doc?
Good. Why don't you grow up, McGee?
Huh?
Why should it be good? Does it go through the hands of government inspectors? Certainly not. Is it properly refrigerated? No. Do black market operators care if it's sanitary or not? No. As long as they get their filthy money, they don't care if their customers live or die.
Well, you seem to feel very strongly about it, Doctor.
Why shouldn't I, Mrs. McGee? I'm a doctor, and it infuriates me to know that some men are so low as to butcher meat illegally and throw away the parts that are needed for medical extracts and surgical sutures and insulin and adrenaline. People may think they need a steak now and then, but believe me, when they need adrenaline, they really need it. McGee, you look bilious. What's the matter? Go on a milk diet the rest of today and tomorrow.
Huh?
You're a nuisance when you're well. I don't want you to get sick. Good day.
I'm convinced. I've been a fool. I've been a chump to 29 decimals. You wait here.
All right, dear. Now, about that package, McGee.
There ain't any package in the refrigerator. I threw it out the window.
I know. I was watching out this window. And I'm afraid I did you an injustice.
Huh?
I thought you had some meat in that package.
You thought, well, what makes you think I didn't?
Well, when you threw it out, Toops' hound dog came by and sniffed at it and walked away.
Oh, my God.
There's one piece of advice you've probably all heard so many times that you'll duck your head if I hand it to you again. And yet there are so many car owners who aren't taking proper care of their automobiles that they need constant reminders to do so. What I'm suggesting is that you do not overlook the finish of your car. Perhaps you don't realize that the salt and other chemicals that are used on streets and roads in wintertime may be on your finish right now and will eat into the finish if they're not removed. If you haven't cleaned and polished your car since winter, you should do so right away. Use a cleaner that removes all that scum and dirt without injury to the finish. Such a cleaner is Johnson's Car New, the easy-to-use combination cleaner and polish that does two jobs at once, both cleans and polishes with one application. You apply Car New, it dries to a white powder, you wipe off the powder, and your car sparkles with almost forgotten newness. Make a note now to buy some Johnson's Car New this week. The cost is little, the benefits are great.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to make a point, we've tried to have fun with a subject which in itself is not very amusing. There's nothing humorous in children becoming ill from eating doubtful meat. It isn't particularly laughable to find crooks and saboteurs disrupting a fair and just system of distribution of essential foods. So in the interest of your own health and your own Americanism, buy only from a reputable dealer. And when anybody offers you a piece of beef without coupons, refuse it.
Yes, it's probably a bum steer or part of one.
Good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Whipple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This program has reached you from Hollywood. Harlow Wilcox speaking. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, have you seen the new chart of the basic 7 food groups just released by Uncle Sam? Well, if you follow this guide and serve foods from each of the 7 groups every day, your family will be well nourished. The chart includes margarine fortified with vitamin A. So if you serve Parquet, the vitamin A fortified margarine made by Kraft, you're meeting an important requirement of good nutrition and being doubly economical at the same time. For besides costing so little cash, Parquet margarine takes only 5 red ration points a pound. It's one of the best energy foods you can serve, and what's more, Parquet is famous for flavor. It's a wonderfully satisfying spread for bread, an appetizing seasoning for hot vegetables, and a real flavor shortening for baking. Yes, and it's grand for pan frying, too. So for fine flavor, for double economy, and for good nutrition every day, serve Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Oh, what is so rare as a day in June? Then, if ever, come perfect days. Well, it's one of those rare days in June, Saturday morning to be exact, and it's raining cats and dogs. Summerfield's water commissioner stands glumly at a window in his living room watching the water come down and wishing that he'd gone to the office anyway. For Marjorie, his niece, is giving a shower for Leila, his intended bride, and he's been asked to stand by to help with the preparations.
Rain, rain, go away.
Let's get out this room first, Bertie. Yes, sir.
A fine day, fine for ducks.
There's a speck of dust anywhere. Mrs. Pettibone is sure to notice it.
Mrs. Pettibone, that old hen? I don't see why we have to invite her.
Now, Uncle Mort, this is not your party. Mrs. Pettibone happens to be a friend of Leila's.
Well, I happen to be a friend of Leila's, too, and I notice I'm not invited.
Men never come to showers. You know that.
I don't want to come to your old shower anyway. Wouldn't come if you paid me.
Well, then what are you complaining about?
Now, Bertie, when the ladies arrive...
Who's complaining? I merely remarked that Mrs. Pettibone is an old hen. I have a right to my opinion, haven't I?
When the ladies arrive, Bertie...
You haven't answered my question. Have I or have I not a right to my opinion?
Oh, Uncle Mort, I'm busy now, and you're an old grouch. Now, come on here, come on. Bertie, when the ladies arrive, I think we'll just have them put their things in Uncle Mort's study.
Sure. Where do we put Uncle Mort? Just give him an apple and let him go sit in the coal bin.
All right, then. Show them up to my room, Bertie.
May I inquire what you're going to do at this party?
Do?
Yes. Nothing but a bunch of women. Are you just going to let them sit and stuff themselves and criticize each other? What are you going to give them for entertainment?
What do you mean by entertainment?
Well, I don't know. A little music, for instance. Helps to liven up a party. I love life and I want to live.
Uncle Mort, if you're hinting that you'd like to sing that corny old ballad for the ladies...
It's not a corny old ballad, and I'm not hinting.
Well, you're not singing either. This is strictly a party for the ladies. Now, Bertie, when it comes time to serve the food, we'll set up the card table.
But, Miss Margie, we only got one card table, and that was weak in the knees.
Well, Uncle Mort's going to see if he can borrow some. Uncle Mort.
Oh, I was just waiting for it to clear up a little, my dear. That's what I'm doing now, waiting.
I don't think it's ever going to clear up, do you?
Well, you can't tell. I'm keeping an eye on it. You know the old saying, rain before 7, clear before 11. Eh, Bertie?
Yes, sir. Well, how do you know what was doing before 7? You didn't get up till 8:30.
Well, that's another old saying, Bertie. Up before 7, dead before 11.
You know, you're not much help. You really aren't. Ben doesn't get here pretty soon. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going crazy here. I've got a million things.
Now, calm yourself, my dear. Calm down. Haste makes waste, you know.
What I want to know is what makes haste.
Yeah, very good.
Just get you moving, Uncle Mort.
There's a car pulling up in front right now, Miss Marjorie. Got a busted fender like Mr. Ben.
Oh, thank goodness. Now maybe we'll get something done.
Yeah, it's about time. Ben has been holding us up here.
Yes, and he's got Leroy with him.
Leroy? Why isn't Leroy at the drugstore? He's supposed to be at work.
Here they come hot putting it up the wall. Man, look at that rain. Worse than the Georgetown flood.
Let him in, Bertie. He'll be soaked.
My goodness, come in quick.
Oh, kind of wet.
Oh, Ben, isn't it an awful day?
Yeah, kind of wet. Leroy, don't throw that raincoat on the floor. How are you, Ben?
Fine. Kind of wet.
Leroy, I'd like to know what you're doing home at this hour. Leroy, what's the matter?
Leroy, honey, what happened to your eye?
Why, it's all black. Leroy.
Well, anyway, he was bigger than me. And he didn't fight fair. I would have beaten him, but...
Now, Leroy, let's be fair.
He wasn't. He had a ring on.
Oh, all right. Now, just a minute, my boy. Pull yourself together. Ben, do you know anything about this?
All I know is I was driving over here and I found him walking along the rain crying.
I was not crying. I was not.
Oh, Leroy, honey, you come here to Bertie.
No, leave me alone.
Now, Butch, remember what I told you.
I'm not crying. I'm just mad.
Yeah, we know you're not crying. Tell us how it happened, my boy.
I didn't do a thing. He just all of a sudden hit me when I wasn't looking. With a ring on. And his knuckles stuck out.
They did? That's inevitable. Who hit you? What was his name? By George, I'll see his father about this.
I don't know his name, but he was bigger than me.
Where did this happen?
Down at the drugstore.
At the drugstore? Wasn't Mr. Peavy around?
Yeah, he was there.
Didn't he have anything to say about it?
Yeah, he said I could have the rest of the day off.
Oh, well, that was nice of him. Now, you better run upstairs, young man, and change those wet clothes.
Okay.
One of these days, I'm going to give you a little instruction in the art of self-defense, Leroy.
And when you come down, Bertie's going to fix that eye for you. I know how.
Oh? How does it happen you're an authority on black eyes, Bertie?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve was my first husband. They was chronic.
Yeah. Oh? What was the treatment he favored?
Beefsteak. Inside of 3 days, the eye's as good as new.
Oh, there may be a good cure, Bertie, but it's obsolete. These days, people get black eyes just trying to get beefsteak.
Uncle Mort, I hate to keep after you, but we've got to get those card tables for Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh, card tables, certainly, my dear. Ben and I'll go get them, won't we, Ben?
Huh? Sure. What?
Just have to borrow a few card tables.
And the punch bowl. And don't forget, you've still got to arrange to get Leila over here.
Leila? Oh, yes, my goodness.
Don't give it away now. Remember, we want the whole thing to be a surprise.
Surprise. Don't worry, just leave it to your Uncle Mort. Come on, Ben. We'll have to take a car, I guess.
Yeah, kind of wet.
Well, what shall we take? I take mine, but it's in the garage, and as long as yours is out in front, how you fix for gas? I'm a little low myself.
Well, all I got's about half a gallon.
Great. Let's go then, my boy. this is it, Ben.
Yeah. Dr. Manfred Pettibone. Manfred?
Yeah, he must have studied medicine so people would call him Doc. Where's the doorbell? Wouldn't you think a doctor would have a doorbell?
Well, maybe that's it. Right there.
What? For goodness sake, a bell you twist? I haven't seen one of those in 20 years. Listen to this, Ben.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. Look out, here she comes, the old... Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Pettibone?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, I'm sorry, but Dr. Pettibone is at his office.
But I came to see you. I didn't come to see the doctor.
My goodness, this hasn't happened in some years.
Yeah?
Do come in out of the rain, Mr. Gildersleeve, and...
This is Ben Waterford, Mrs. Pettibone. He brought me over.
Yeah, I drove.
I see. Well, do come in, Mr. Waterford.
Thanks.
Oh, now I know who Mr. Waterford is. You're the young man who's been casting sheep's eyes at Marjorie for so long, aren't you?
Oh, no, I've just been hanging around.
Oh, now, I imagine you've been hanging around Marjorie the way a bumblebee hangs around a flower garden. Every once in a while, that old bee steals a little honey.
Well, not me. I never even touch anything.
Well, I think you're a lovely boy, and you tell Marjorie I said so.
Yes, ma'am, I'll tell her. Oh, no. Gosh, you better borrow the stuff, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Stuff? Oh, yes, Ben. Mrs. Pettibone, you know about the shower Marjorie's giving for Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Marjorie thought you could lend us a bridge table or two.
Certainly, Mr. Gildersleeve, certainly. Do you need anything else?
No, I don't think so. What's the matter, Ben?
Punch bowl.
Oh, yes, a punch bowl.
Oh, I thought so. Mighty few people want card tables without wanting my cut glass punch bowl. Now, if you'll sit this way, gentlemen, the punch bowl is out here in the dining room.
Oh, thank you. Come on, Ben.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'll bet you're happy these days, aren't you?
Me?
Oh, I remember how happy Manfred was in the days before we were married.
Sure he was.
So was I. Of course, I know Mrs. Ransom is so happy. I'm awfully glad she is. Because often when a woman's marrying for the second time, it's so difficult to avoid comparisons. But I must say your Leila is simply radiant these days. I saw her in the furniture department at Hogan's yesterday, and she was having a marvelous time.
What was she looking at?
Everything. She looked at a dining room suite and a living room suite and a playroom set.
Playroom? Leroy's too old for a playroom.
Mr. Gildersleeve, this was a grown-up playroom, like the stars have out in Hollywood. I believe they call them rumpus rooms.
Oh, so?
Yes. Reading about them, I've often thought it would be thrilling to have a little rumpus with Humphrey Bogart.
Where is the punch bowl?
Oh, of course, you've got to hurry back. Well, now, here, you'll be awfully careful of this, won't you? It belonged to my father's mother. They were the Whites of Terre Haute.
What? Oh, yes, I'll be careful.
And, Mr. Waterford, you'll be careful of the tables. This one is a little weak in the leg.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, Mrs. Pettibone. I may see you this afternoon at the shower.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, look at that rain.
Gosh, can't run with two card tables. Foot steps are slippery.
We'll be all right. Goodbye, Mrs. Pettibone.
Bye.
Yeah. Now, take it easy, Ben. Take it... Oh,
hey, look out, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Mercy, Mr. Gildersleeve, did you crack my punch bowl?
No, but by George, I certainly bruised my bridge table. Wait here, Ben. I won't be but a minute.
Okay.
Oh, brother, what a day. What a day for a shower. Ooh, I wonder if Leila heard me.
Throckmorton, why, you poor darling, you're all wet.
Yeah, I know. It's raining, Leila.
Oh, well, come in quick. Oh, what on earth possessed you to come out on a day like this, Throckmorton?
Oh, nothing. I just happen to be driving around. I like the rain anyway.
Do you? So do I. I think it's so romantic. I just don't like to go out in it is all.
By the way, Leila, what are you doing this afternoon?
This afternoon? Why, I don't know. What are you doing?
Me? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I'm afraid I'm going to be busy this afternoon.
Oh.
You came all the way over here in the rain to tell me you're going to be busy this afternoon. Well, so am I.
I didn't mean it that way, Leila.
If you must know, I'm planning to spend the entire afternoon burning old love letters.
Leila, I've only written you 3.
Gracious. Do you think you're the only man who ever wrote me love letters?
Huh?
Why, my husband Beauregard wrote me letters whose memory I shall treasure all my life, to mention only one of many.
Beauregard. I bet he wrote a fine legal love letter. To whom it may concern, by these presents, be it known, whereas the undersigned...
I think that is an extremely bad taste. Extremely.
Well, you keep talking about Beauregard.
Beauregard was a gentleman. Whatever else you may say about him, he was a gentleman.
All right, he was a gentleman.
He was handsome, too.
All right, he was a handsome gentleman. And his soul goes marching on. I wish you wouldn't keep digging him up, Leila. I didn't come over here to talk about Beauregard anyway. I was sent over to deliver an invitation.
Invitation?
Yeah. You can accept it or not, I don't care. I think these hen parties are a lot of nonsense anyway.
A party? Well, what kind of a party?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Oh, please. Now you've got me all curious. Tell Leila, please.
No.
If you tell me, I'll tell you a secret. About Beauregard.
Beauregard? Huh? Well, what about him?
Well, it's true that he was a gentleman.
I know, you said that.
And he was handsome.
You said that, too.
But he had the biggest feet in Savannah, Georgia. Now tell me about the party.
Oh, I can't. I promise not to, Leila. But I'll give you a hint.
Oh, all right.
What is doing outdoors right now?
It's raining.
What's another word for it?
Pouring.
No. I'll tell you, Leila. What do you see a rainbow after?
Afternoon?
No.
Well, I never saw one in the morning.
Look, Leila, what do you take when you come in from working in the garden and you're all hot and dusty?
You take a drink.
You take a drink. Leila, what is it your friends give you when you're about to get married and they think you haven't got enough potholders?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not very good at guessing games, Throckmorton, am I?
Don't you worry, honey. You just come over to my house about 3 and bring a bushel basket. You better bring your umbrella, too. It might shower.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. Meanwhile, do you know that there are 2 people you can help by planning your grocery shopping in advance these days? The first one is you. Yes, you'll find that planning family menus for several days ahead saves a lot of nervous wear and tear and makes those precious ration points go farther. What's more, if you'll do your shopping early in the day and early in the week, you'll find that your grocer is more likely to have on hand the foods that you plan to buy. And speaking of your grocer, he's the other one you'll help by planning family buying in advance, and he deserves the help that you can give him. Yes, though rationing and ceiling prices may mean work for you these days, just think of what they mean to him. Extra work and extra trouble every day, long after hours, planning, buying, shelving hundreds of foods. You learn his thanks by planning and by shopping early. And if it happens that he's sometimes out of favorite products like Parquet margarine, remember it's because of heavy demand and wartime shortages. Just remember that your grocer is doing his important best. He's helping to win this war by serving you. So help him all you can. Now let's see what's happening to the Great Gildersleeve. In all the confusion of getting the house ready for Leila's shower, the head of the house has become something of an orphan. For lunch, he was handed a meager sandwich and a glass of milk and told to eat them in the laundry. And now he's been dispatched to the drugstore with Leroy to pick up the party ice cream. For some reason, Leroy prefers to wait in the car outside while his uncle goes into the shop.
By George.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, Phoebe. Did you order this weather?
No, Mr. Gildersleeve, I didn't, but I ordered an extra supply of Alcazino on the strength of it.
Alcazino?
For colds.
I never used the stuff. It cures a cold, does it?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. But it goes well with it. Does no harm. has a mildly unpleasant taste.
Yeah, well, I'll have to try it sometime. Did Marjorie phone you about the ice cream, Peavy?
Yes. Yes, she did. I have it waiting for you, all wrapped up.
Good. Say, what's this I hear about Leroy getting into a fist fight down here this morning?
Oh, that was very regrettable. Very. I was sorry that happened.
Yeah, the boy was bigger than Leroy, too, I understand.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Huh?
They were pretty evenly matched as to size, but Leroy seemed to be a little lacking in technique.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I haven't done right by the boy.
The windmill approach.
Suicide. Tell me, Peavy, how did the fight start?
Well, that I really couldn't say, Mr. Gildersleeve. I was in the prescription department back there, and suddenly I was awakened by the sound of voices. It seemed to be some kind of an altercation.
Oh? What was the fight about?
Well, I believe it had to do with the comic books. It seems Leroy ordered the boy to keep his hands off them, and the boy refused. So Leroy took steps. I was sorry it happened.
Well, I guess it didn't do him any harm, but it was nice of you to let him off for the rest of the day, Peavy.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, the fact of the matter is I dispensed with Leroy's services.
You did?
As of this morning.
Sure.
I was sorry to do it, but we have a rule here. Never hit a customer.
Well, no wonder he didn't want to come into the store with me. Wait till I get that kid home.
Oh, now, Mr. Gildersleeve, boys will be boys. As a matter of fact, I was planning to hire him back again Monday.
Well, I got a few things to say to him in the meantime. How much is the ice cream?
That'll be $70, and 3 is $73.
Yeah, there you are.
$1.
Yeah.
Yes, and you tell Leroy to come around and see me Monday, and I think we can patch up our little differences, provided there's no more fighting.
Yeah, I'll tell him, Peavy, and thanks.
And you might also tell him...
Yes?
If he must fight, for goodness sakes, don't lead with his nose.
Yes, just... I'll take that up with him. I'll make a note of it. Goodbye, Peavy.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Uncle Mort, what time did you tell Mrs. Ransom to come?
3, my dear. And don't worry, the tables and everything look wonderful.
Oh, thank you. But wouldn't it be awful if she didn't come? What would we do?
Give me the shower. I love egg beaters.
Oh, silly. That's the awful thing about surprise parties. They're never sure who's going to be surprised.
Oh, nobody's surprised. They just pretend they are.
There.
Not Leila. We have a little signal.
Yes, I know. I bet it's Mrs. Pettibone.
Yeah, she'd hate to miss anything.
Now, you get out of sight, Uncle Mort. You too, Leroy. Judge Hooker.
What? Why, that old...
Hello, Leroy. Well, where'd you get the black eye?
Oh, heck, I was just beginning to forget it.
I just dropped in to see if you needed any card tables, Marjorie. I hear you giving a party.
Oh, well, thank you, Judge, but we really don't need any more.
I've got one right here in the car. Just happened to be passing, and, do I smell chicken salad?
You might.
Well, nothing I can do to help.
No, not a thing, Judge. Sorry if you've gone to any trouble.
That's all right. I haven't a thing in the world to do this afternoon anyway. I just happened to be passing by.
Put down that olive, Hooker.
No, you made me swallow the pit.
Don't worry, it wasn't a pit. It was a pimento.
Thank goodness. Well, I can see you're all busy. As I say, I just chanced to be passing, and
Well, I'm sorry, Judge. I'd ask you to stay any time but this, but, see, I'm giving this party, and it's for ladies only, so you'll just have to go on home.
All right, Marjorie, I can take a hint.
And you needn't laugh, Uncle Mort, because you won't be at the party either. Your job is to entertain Leroy this afternoon.
Hooker, you get out of here.
I'm going. Have a nice afternoon, Gildy.
Marjorie, you don't mean that.
I do indeed, Uncle Mort.
Can't I even stay till Leila gets here?
No.
But, Marjorie, I'm the bridegroom.
Yes, but this isn't the wedding.
Oh.
It's the shower for the bride, and if you want it to be successful and pleasant for Leila, keep Leroy happy.
Keep Leroy? All right, my dear, for you and Leila.
Gosh, sis, just to give Mrs. Ransom a couple of pots and pans, do I have to spend a horrible afternoon?
Young man, it's going to be horrible for both of us. Go into my study. Leroy.
Yeah?
See if you can look through this keyhole and tell me what's going on.
Okay. Gosh, can't see very much. Looks like a hippopotamus dead ahead.
That's Mrs. Pettibone.
Could be.
Oh, that's Leila's ring. We have a little signal. Oh, here she comes, girl. Okay. Yeah, let me get that keyhole, Leroy.
Take it. You can't see a thing.
Shh. Listen.
Ah, gee, Unc, you can't see anything. Let's play checkers.
Shh, quiet. They're talking about me.
Who is?
Mrs. Ransom.
What did she say?
She said she was going to marry the most wonderful man in the world.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Leroy, you're getting just like Peavy.
Well, no.
Leroy, don't keep saying that.
Sorry, Unc, I didn't know I was saying anything.
Now they've all gone in the dining room for the presents. Wish I could see Leila's face when she catches sight of all that chickenware.
Yeah.
Kitchenware.
How about a game of checkers?
What?
I said, how about a game of checkers?
Checkers?
Yeah.
Now, Leroy, you lost 2 of the men.
Well, then you suggest something.
Yeah, we could settle down with a nice book.
Unc, this is Saturday.
It's as good a day to read as any. Don't you think Abraham Lincoln read on Saturdays?
I know, Unc, but I don't think I'm presidential timber.
Yes. Frankly, I don't either, Leroy. Wait a minute, I've got an idea.
What?
We'll go down in the cellar and I'll give you a boxing lesson.
Oh, gee, Unc, with my black eye and everything, I might get hurt.
Don't worry, I won't hit you in the eye.
I don't like the idea, Unc. You're pretty strong.
Leroy, this will do you good. Make a man out of you. Put spring in your step and sparkle in your good eye. I love life and I want to live.
Oh, for
I love life.
Lord,
Yeah?
Lord, they can hear you all over the house.
Oh, but I... All right, Leroy, come down in the cellar and I'll... Come on. Now, my boy, the first thing to learn in boxing is the stance. You balance lightly on the balls of the feet, left foot forward, left arm extended, like this.
You look just like those pictures of John L. Sullivan in his long underwear.
John L. was a great fighter, young man. Now, let's get started. First comes the matter of training. A good fighter does 9/10 of his work before entering the ring.
Oh, gosh, Uncle, all that stuff is in the book. Besides, I'm in good condition here. Feel this muscle.
Very good, but you...
Let me see yours.
All right, here.
Jeepers, hard as a rock.
I managed to keep pretty fit. Diet is important, of course.
Don't tell me you're on a boxing diet, Unc.
Well, not strictly. I like to keep a little above my actual fighting weight.
Are you kidding?
All right, Leroy, let's mix it a little now, and I'll show you a thing or two.
Will you teach me some tricks?
Tricks? What kind of tricks?
Oh, you know, like stepping on the other guy's foot.
Leroy, that's no good with a clever opponent. I'll show you the best trick there is, though. As simple as ABC and just as deadly.
What is it, Unc?
It's the feint, my boy. You feint for the body with your right, then hit for the jaw with your left. It's the element of surprise, and it never fails.
Gee, how do you do it?
I'll show you. Here. I start a punch towards your stomach, you see? You put your guard down, and I come across and hit you in the jaw.
Wow. Let me see now. I start for your stomach,
That's
your
right.
guard goes down, and wham, right in the jaw.
That's it. Now try it again, but don't hit hard.
Okay. Swing on the stomach, and then cross to the jaw.
Perfect.
Thanks, Unc. I'll murder him with that.
Yeah, I hope you will. Because I don't have to let you hit me if I don't want to.
What do you mean?
There's a defense for everything, you know, my boy. I'll show you. You try to hit me, and if you land a real punch, I'll give you $1.
You mean hit you hard?
Certainly. Don't worry, I know how to block it.
Okay. There goes.
That's the...
Gosh, I forgot to faint. Unc, what's the matter?
I can't breathe.
Unc, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Help! Finally, help! Oh, gosh, what'll I do? Mr. Gildersleeve, what are you doing to that child? I hit him, Barney.
Uncle Mort, I asked you to keep Leroy happy.
He did, Ma. He did.
I see.
Mort, what's the matter?
Can't get my breath.
He needs artificial respiration. No, he don't. I tell you, I hit him.
Oh, for heaven's sake, what's happened to my poor Throckmorton?
I say we ought to treat him for sure.
Oh, Throckmorton, you poor darling.
Really, nothing, Leila.
He'll be all right in a minute. Now, let's go back to the party, everyone. It's just a little accident.
It was not.
Oh, I think Throckmorton should join us.
Oh, now, Uncle Mort can take care of himself. You're all right, aren't you, Uncle Mort?
You're going to leave me all alone?
See, he's all right.
If you ladies want, I'll sing for you.
Oh,
would you?
I warn you, if he sings.
Yeah, he'll really corn it up.
Yep. Now, Leroy, suppose we just leave it to the ladies. What would you ladies like to hear?
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I wonder if you'd sing a song I just love.
What's that?
I love life.
That's all, brother.
Mrs. Pettibone. Has anybody ever told you you're a woman of rare charm?
Oh, what a character. Look at all the presents. Just think they're really, truly ours, Throckmorton, for our own little house.
Yeah, quite a haul, Leila. Look at that cute little breakfast set.
Oh, breakfast in bed. Don't you love it?
That's the greatest luxury in the world. Darling, I'm so glad I'm marrying somebody who appreciates breakfast in bed.
You know what? I love to think of us living all by ourselves way off somewhere in a tiny cottage.
With geraniums.
With geraniums. And we wouldn't have a care in the world. Every morning just sleep late as you please.
Yeah.
Till finally I open my eyes and there you are tiptoeing in with my tray.
Leila, I've just decided something.
What?
We're going to take Bertie on our honeymoon. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweet. And this is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to listen in again next Sunday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Can any of you remember the old Broadway hit play called Come Out of the Kitchen? Well, that's a good slogan for these days when the Victory Garden needs attention and there are so many other important jobs to do. Well, the product called Kraft Dinner is a dandy to cut down your cooking time. For with Kraft Dinner, you cook a grand dinner main dish of macaroni and cheese in just 7 minutes with the clock. In Kraft Dinner, you have an exceptional red ration point value, a generous, nutritious main dish. Ask your grocer for Kraft Dinner tomorrow. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Car New, and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Mentioned several times before a few of the special protective finishes that the makers of Johnson's Wax have developed and are making for implements of war. I don't believe I included one very important group of these finishes, paints, enamels, and lacquers. When you think of a ship or a tank, you normally think of heavy steel plates. When you think of a large shell, you think of a steel casing. But to get these implements into the war in proper condition and to fight the battle against rust and corrosion requires millions of gallons of protective paints, enamels, and lacquers. Johnson's paint finishes are helping to protect the surfaces of ships, tanks, shells, mortars, hand grenades, life rafts. The list is very long. The finishes are made to meet the rigid specifications of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Maritime Commission. When the war is over, these paints and enamels will be back doing peacetime protective service. In the meantime, any manufacturer having a finishing problem for any piece of war equipment is invited to write S.C. Johnson & Son, Racine, Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, we present a man who is a born leader with his chin. A man who knows nothing of fear, who knows nothing of caution, who knows nothing, period. But here, on his way to learn something from a numerologist, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hey, here's the numerologist's place right here, Molly. Must be up over this barber shop.
Ratty-looking place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it always amazes me, dearie, that all these people who set themselves up as prophets never look like they made any.
Well, why look into the future just to see yourself starving to death? That'd be silly. Come on, it's time for my appointment.
Are you sure this man is a numerologist, McGee?
Sure, why?
Well, he ought to be an astrologist.
Huh?
40 more steps and he'd be within 10 feet of the moon.
I'll bet this is going to be a turning point in my life, Molly.
Oh, dear, you've had so many turning points already, you'll go down in history as Whirling Fibber McGee.
How do you do? I am Professor Cypher. Please to come in.
Now, look, Bud, my name is...
Please, do not annoy me with trifles which I already know.
You know?
Certainly. You are Fibber McGee and wish to consult me because your life is out of harmony with the numerical vibrations of the universe.
Well, my gosh, you hear that, Molly? He knew who I was and why I came.
Well, you made the appointment in your own name, didn't you? Then why should you come to see a numerologist? To get your tires recapped? I'm not particularly bowled over, dearie.
Perhaps when the lady sees the result of this interview, she will change her attitude toward the ancient science of the Egyptians.
I'll bet you will at that, Prof.
The only Egyptians I ever saw were mummies. If this undertaking is anywhere near as good as theirs, I'll buy it.
Please to sit down. Thank you. You may smoke if you wish, madame.
Thank you, I don't smoke. The cheaper vices don't appeal to me, sir.
Well, let's get at it, Prof, old top. What have I got to do to vibrate 8 to the bar?
Mr. McGee, in every living person's life force, there is an immutable, unchangeable, unalterable pitch, a vibration.
That's what I've been telling him, Professor. All he has to do is get in there and tip.
For each person, his fortune depends upon how closely he is attuned to his vibration. If he is in harmony, good luck and health, wealth and happiness will flow about him. I will advise you to change your name.
Huh? Change my name?
That's ridiculous. Why? He changed mine, and what good came of it?
Change my name to what, Prof?
Now, let me see. Where is my chart? Ah, yes. I would say perhaps 5 letters in the first name, 1 middle initial, and 5 letters in the surname. That would be 11. A prime number with no common divisor, but 1.
That's the stuff. We want no common ordinary divisors in our name, do we, dear?
Well, what name would you suggest, Bud?
Well, for the first name, how about Homer? A fine old name in the classic tradition.
Homer, huh?
Yeah.
Homer. Sounds like a pigeon.
Doesn't seem quite right to call him Homer when he never gets to first base.
Yes, Homer will do splendidly for the first name. Now a middle initial. Say K. That's the 11th letter of the alphabet. And how about Frink for the last name? Homer K. Frink. Splendid.
Homer K. Frink. Homer K. Frink. Hey, that ain't bad. Sounds kind of distinguished. Well, come on, Mrs. Frink.
Don't call me Mrs. Frink. You can be Homer Frink if you want to, but don't include me, dearie.
Oh, well, you'll come to it when you see how successful I'm going to be. How much I owe you, Prof?
$10, Mr. Frink.
$10?
He's been called a lot of $10 names in his day, Professor, but none like Homer Frink.
Madam, this is probably the greatest investment he has ever made. A mere $10 to lay the foundation of a fortune. For believe me, when he goes out into the world as Homer Frink, with his vibrations attuned to his rightful destiny, he'll regard the paltry sum of $10 as pitifully inadequate.
Well, I'll bet I will at that. Well, here you are, Prof.
Thank you.
Good day, Professor.
Good day, madame.
Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Homer Frink. Homer K. Frink. In tune with the universe at last. Lady Luck, here I come. No more fumbling and stumbling.
Look out, McGee, the stairs. McGee, are you hurt?
No. Of course not. Thanks to Homer Frink. If I'd have still been Fibber McGee, I'd have busted my clavicle. Oh, my God.
Mrs. Homer K. Frink. No, I won't have it.
What's the matter, Molly? What you muttering about?
McGee, I don't want to be Mrs. Homer Frink.
Well, that's a distinguished name. I know a big newspaper woman in Chicago named Frink, and she's one of the
I
finest...
don't care. I'm satisfied just to be Mrs. Fibber McGee. And goodness knows why.
You haven't given Homer Frink a chance yet. I guess the professor knew what he was doing when...
Well, hello there, Johnny. Hello, daughter. Where are you bound for?
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
And don't call me Johnny, you hear, old-timer? Call me Homer. Or Mr. Frink.
Okay, Frank.
Not Frank. Frink. It rhymes with... Oh, never mind what it rhymes with.
What's the idea, Johnny? Frank.
I got my name changed by a numerologist, old-timer. With my new name, Homer Frink, my numbers are all in harmony.
He vibrates.
He does? Stand still a minute, Johnny, and let's see. See, he does it there. Quivers like an E string.
It's just excitement over having his numbers in harmony.
Papa was in the numbers racket once, but he couldn't get into harmony with the police.
Well, this is different. This is a scientific thing.
I don't know about that, Homer. I knew a fella changed his name, the result was horrible. It was awful.
Yeah?
For a while, it looked like he'd do all right. Then his luck went bad. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get hung or shot any day now.
Oh, my. What was his name before he changed it?
Schickelgruber. Well, I gotta be running along, kid. Gotta buy my girl Bessie some nuts. She's trimming a hat.
Trimming a hat?
What does he want the nuts for?
To put on the hat, daughter.
Don't be ridiculous, old-timer. What kind of nuts can you trim a hat with?
Forget me. Well, see you later, daughter. So long, Homer.
Forget me nuts. That old muzzleloader not only don't know what it's all about, he don't even suspect. Come on, Molly. I want to see a couple of guys downtown on a business deal. Going to try my luck with Homer Frink.
Oh, McGee, I wish you'd give up this foolishness. I always go along with you up to a point, but this one is too sharp for me.
You just keep stringing along with me, baby, and you'll wear diamonds. You've been a good kid. One of these days you'll be proud to be Mrs. Homer Frink. How'd you like to own a big castle in Southern California?
Oh, my, that'd be simply ducky, dearie. I can hardly wait to see the happy peasants trampling out the orange juice.
Well, don't you be surprised if something...
Oh, look, McGee, here comes Mrs. Uppington.
Uh-oh. Get a load of that strut. You think she'd get tired of following herself around?
Now, behave yourself. Abigail is a fine woman. Oh, hello, Abigail, darling. How nice to see you.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Miss McGee?
If you don't mind, Mrs. Uppington, please address me as Mr. Frink. Homer K. Frink.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, he's had his name changed by a numerologist, Abigail.
Oh.
He now vibrates in walk time, but I'm sitting this one out.
I done it for luck, Uppy. Homer K. Frink has got the right number of letters to make me harmonize with the universe. You see, everybody's personality has got what you might call a different wavelength. And the professor says...
Oh, I see. Is yours a permanent or just a finger wave?
Well, either way, it's enough to curl your hair.
Okay. Scoff if you want to. Be right. But one of these days, mark my word...
Do you mean to say, Mr. McGee...
Frink.
Do you mean to say, Mr. Frink, that you believe this preposterous nonsense? Are you that superstitious?
Oh, indeed he is. He never even lets anyone throw a hat on a bed. My cousin Stetson came to visit us from Peoria once and had to sleep standing up for a week.
Okay. Have your fun, girls. Have your fun. But any scientist in the world will tell you that every living thing is regulated by vibrations, by the cosmic rhythm, by the waves.
Oh, really, Mr. McGee? I must tell my sister. She'll be so pleased.
Is she a scientist, Abigail?
Oh, she's a wave. Goodbye, Mr. Plunk.
Trouble with Uppington is she won't admit anybody knows anything but her. She's narrow-minded.
Well, give her credit, dearie. It's the only place she is narrow. Look at her walking down the street there.
Yeah. If she was taller and better looking, she'd be high, wide, and handsome. Well, let's go, Molly. I want to get these guys.
Oh, hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello there, Molly. How are you, Fibber?
I'm fine, Junior, but I'm not Fibber.
Well, that's... Huh?
I says I'm fine, but I'm not Fibber McGee. Like you evidently mistakenly think I am, evidently.
Yes. You have the dubious pleasure of speaking to Mr. Homer Frink, Mr. Wilcox. No relation to Benjamin Franklin or Franklin D. Roosevelt.
I don't get it.
Well, you see, Junior...
No, please. Let Molly explain it. I'm confused enough.
You were born confused, son.
Well, Mr. Wilcox, he went to a numerologist and got his name changed. He is now in tune with the universe, which isn't so hard right now because the universe is slightly off key.
I vibrate to the right numbers now, Junior. I got rhythm.
Well, for anybody with as big a brass section as you've got, pal, it's a good thing. But I'm glad everybody doesn't believe in that stuff.
Why, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, Molly. You shouldn't have ever asked him of that. That's like asking the insurance salesman what he's got in that briefcase.
Well, what I mean is, wouldn't it be silly of us to change the name of, say, Johnson's Car and You, for instance, when it's so well known and liked everywhere as the automobile polish that cleans and polishes in one easy application?
See what I mean?
Why, when a name means as much to car owners as Johnson's Car and You does, why, you'd as soon break a leg as change it.
Mm-hmm. You almost broke an arm reaching for that one, Junior.
But he's right, dearie.
Certainly I'm right. Why, if we changed the name of Car and You, how could motorists know what to ask for when they wanted a product that was so thoroughly time-tested and customer-endorsed? A polish that's so simple and easy to use that a child could do it. That you simply apply, let dry, and wipe off with a soft cloth to get practically a showroom finish on your car. No, sir, we won't change the name of Johnson's Car and You.
Well, look, Junior, I wasn't suggesting it.
It's no use, Fibber. It's no use. The Johnson people would never hear of it, and I don't blame them.
Doggone it, Johnson, I says I was...
No, 1,000 times no. Car and You it is, and Car and You it stays. And Racine is going to be pretty sore when I tell him you wanted to change it, too. Of all the ridiculous, stupid, fantastic ideas, to change the name of Car and You, why,
Your cosmic rhythm seems to have missed a couple of beats, dearie.
Shucks.
If Mr. Wilcox tells Racine you want to change the name of Car and You, your luck is really due for a change. And I don't mean good.
Doggone it, I didn't want to change any name. That guy's got 7 silver cups. He's one jumping to conclusions. I didn't mean to...
McGee, look.
Huh? Where?
Right ahead of us, there's a man lying on the sidewalk.
Oh.
Maybe he's ill.
Oh, looks kind of familiar, too. Oh. Hey, that's Wimple.
Wallace Wimple.
Did I hear someone call my... Oh, hello, folks.
Hi, Wimp. What's the idea laying on the sidewalk?
Just as you think, Mr. McGee.
Oh.
I thought I saw Sweetie Face coming down the street.
Yes, but how would lying flat on the sidewalk help in that case?
Well, she told me she was going to slap me walleye as sure as I was a foot high.
Well, you're safe, Wimp. She ain't anywhere around here.
Thank you, Mr. McGee.
And the name is Frink, Wimp. Homer K. Frink.
Oh, how do you do? Have we met someplace?
Well, Mr. McGee has changed his name, Mr. Wimple. A numerologist told him to, for luck.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, I've got to hurry and meet Sweetie Face. She'll be horribly angry if I'm late.
What's the rush, Wimp?
Well, I'm meeting Sweetie Face at the Marines pistol range.
Oh.
She's going to show them how she shoots a cigarette out of my mouth with a .44 pistol.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that dangerous, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, no, silly girl. I never inhale.
To walk in the streets. Let's go home.
No, well, okay. I'll start out early tomorrow and test out my new name. Let's cross over here.
No, McGee. The red light is on. We have to wait for the green.
Oh, come on. We're not yokels. There's hardly any traffic. Here, take my arm.
All right, and the first truck to come along will take the other.
Hey, where do you think you're going? What's the idea of jaywalking? Don't you know it's against the law to cross on the red light?
Yeah, but sure. But gee whiz, officer.
Stop arguing. What's your name?
My name is Molly McGee.
McGee, huh?
Yes.
And a fine old name it is, too, McCushla.
Yes, indeed.
And what's your name?
Who, me? Oh, I'm Homer Frink. Homer K. Frink.
Well, never let me catch either one of you. What did you say your name was?
He said it was Frink. Homer K. Frink.
You don't say. Now, don't go away for a minute. Hey, Hennessy! Car the wagon. I got Homer Frink.
Wait.
Hey, you can't take him away in the wagon for crossing against the light.
I should say not.
That's the least of the things this bird is wanted for, lady.
Huh?
Homer K. Frink. Wanted in 7 states for arson, murder, bank robbery, forgery, women, parole violation, and bigamy. Keep your hands up there, Frink.
Now look here, officer.
Shut up, you, or I'll take me stick to you. All right, make room there, all of you. This man is dangerous.
He is now.
I am, too. I will be if this big baboon don't stop acting silly. Now you look here, officer.
Quiet. Here comes the wagon. Don't first move now, Frink.
Now look, I didn't. Hey, Molly, get a wire.
dearie. I'll straighten it all out. I'll see you later.
King's men sing, I got plenty of nothing. Oh, I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. I got no car, got no mule, got no misery. Oh, the folks with plenty of plenty got a lock on their door. Pray somebody, I'm going to rob him while he's down and make him more. One, I got no lock on the door. That's the way to be. They can steal the rust from the floor. That's okay with me. All the things that I tried, like a star to fly all away. I got plenty of nothing, and nothing's plenty for me. Got my gal, got my Lord, got heaven the whole day long. Got my gal, got my Lord, got my Lord. Porgy changed since that woman come to live with him. How he changed. He ain't caught with chillin' no more. And ain't you hear how he invests all the time singing in their room? I tell you that dog is happy, happy. Oh, I got my gal, I got my soul, got heaven the whole day long. You complaining? Got my gal, got my Lord, got my soul.
That's right. For the 49th time, I'm telling you I'm not Homer Prince.
Yeah, we know.
And get that spotlight out of my eye.
Let me talk to him a minute, Chiefy.
Clancy, put down that rubber hose.
Yeah, put that down.
You know them things is racing, Clancy.
You guys are going to be sorry for this. When I get hold of the mayor, I'll...
Shut up, Homer.
Now, what were you saying about that stick-up in Boston, Homer?
I didn't say nothing about a stick-up, and you just...
Maybe you'd like to tell us about that jewelry deal in Florida, that Chicago job he pulled.
That's it. I tell you, I never... what's the use? All right, you guys. You want to hear about my Chicago job, do you? Well, I'll tell you about it.
Now you're talking sense, Homer. Write this down, Clancy.
Okay, Chief.
All right. So it was in the fur warehouse, see? I come in late at night, see? Must have been around midnight. $500,000 worth of furs in there, not a soul around.
How'd you get in? Through a skylight?
Skylight, he said. What do you think I am, crawling through skylights? I come in the front door.
Oh, had a key made, huh?
Sure, Chief. Homer's no punk. He knows his stuff. Now, let's see. Entered front door.
First thing I done was lock the door behind me, see? Then I took a good look around with my flashlight, see? Make sure there was nobody hiding no place, see?
Don't talk so fast, see? Look around. Nobody hiding. I got it.
All right. So the next thing I do, I ease over to the storage vault. It's locked, but that don't stop me, see?
It don't?
Nah. I got the combination all wrote down. I hauls it out of my pocket, opens up the vault, and throws casually inside.
What a nerve.
It was nothing. I picked me out a bale of sables over in the corner.
Bale of sables in a safe phone.
Drags a flock of ermine wraps over next to it.
Pile of ermine.
Curls up on it and takes me a nice long snooze.
You what? You lay down on all those furs and went to sleep?
Sure. I had to sleep sometime. I was the only night watchman they had. That was my job in Chicago.
For the... Twink, I got a good notion to poke you right on the cell and throw away the key.
Oh, yeah? Well, I know my rights, and you can't hold me here incognito like this.
You don't mean incognito, Homer. You mean incommunicado.
I never know such a thing, neither. Incommunicado is a fruit that grows in California.
Them's avocados.
I thought an avocado was a kind of a run on the piano.
Yep. That's obligato.
Lend
Then, doggone it, what's incognito?
Incognito's when you use a different name.
A different name? I could think of a different name for guys like you every 2 seconds for the next 400 years. Can't believe me?
Right in here, Doctor. McGee, dearie, are you all right?
Oh, sure, I'm fine. Nothing wrong with me, but that a short walk out the front door of this joint won't cure.
Yes. Well, I brought Dr. Gamble to identify you, dearie.
Oh.
We'll have you out here in no time.
Yeah. Hello, Chief. Hello, McGee. Say, you got a mighty high color there, my boy. Been yelling your head off again, have you?
Of course I've been yelling. These flatheads are...
You know this guy, Doc? Yes, I'm afraid I do, Chief. McGee, I've told you repeatedly about watching your blood pressure, about losing your temper. If you blow up someday like a nickel balloon and pop, don't say I didn't warn you.
How much you going to charge me for that? I didn't ask you to come down here, and if you think you're going to send me a bill for medical advice for that...
McGee.
Oh, I don't pay any attention to him, Mrs. McGee. I've warned him so many times about his blood pressure.
Yeah, that's $3 a warrant.
Well, if you can positively identify this bird as McGee, Doc, we'll have to turn him loose.
And about time, too. I'm going to sue every one of your cops for false arrest and malpractice. There's going to be so many stars flying around here, it'll look like a planetarium.
Quiet, McGee, quiet.
Well...
How are you going to identify him, Doctor?
Well, there's a birthmark or something.
He wasn't asking you. You bull-necked, cow-faced stirrup.
McGee!
I can identify him all right. Take off your shirt, McGee.
Doggone it, Doc. I hope I never meet you at 14th and Oak Street. I never seen you yet. I didn't have to take off something. What for this time?
Appendicitis scar. I operated on you, remember? That won't prove anything, Doc. Too many people got appendicitis scars.
Not like mine. This ham-handed pill roller gave me a scar that if I ever have my face lifted, it'll show over my collar. There, you see?
Okay. If you guarantee this guy isn't Homer Frink, Doc, he can go. I guarantee it. Come on, McGee.
Mind if I put my shirt back on first? That's just a suggestion, of course.
I don't know why they ever made such a ridiculous mistake in the first place.
He said he was Homer Frink, lady. Look at this circular. Homer Frink is wanted for everything but the shooting of Dan McGrew. How'd you happen to pick that name?
He didn't. The numerologist gave it to him. Professor Cypher.
Professor Cypher?
Yeah, why?
He's my brother-in-law. Huh? I gave him one of these Frink circulars yesterday.
Why, of all the dirt... You mean he deliberately... McGee, where are you going?
I'm going to go back and see that professor. Print up another circular sheet. Fibber McGee wanted for murder.
A piece of good quality linoleum lasts? I suppose that's a hard question to answer because for one reason it depends upon how much wear it gets. But it depends upon something else even more, the care that's taken of it. If you protect it regularly with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, it will actually last 6 to 10 times longer than if it were unprotected. The tough film of glow coat acts as a shield, guarding the linoleum itself from wear. That same film of Johnson's glow coat gives the linoleum great beauty, keeps the colors looking like new. And, of course, Glow Coat is self-polishing. It needs no rubbing or buffing, so it takes practically no work. There are still some women who clean their linoleum by the old-fashioned scrubbing method, which is really harmful. Now, if you're one of these, you'll find Johnson's Glow Coat easier, more economical, and a great help in these days when we all need to make our things wear longer.
I was so worried when you ran out of that police station.
Yeah.
I thought you were really going to get that, Professor Cypher.
Yeah, I would have, too. But it took me 40 minutes to cross 14th Street, and by that time I cooled off.
Why couldn't you cross?
I was seeing red and couldn't tell when the light changed. Yeah. Good night.
Good night, all.
The parts of Wallace Wimple and the old-timer were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. From the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, when somebody mentions a food that you haven't tried, do you ask, what does it taste like, or is it nutritious? Well, more and more people are asking both these questions about Parquet margarine every day. They've heard that Parquet is an outstanding red ration stamp value at only 5 red ration points a pound. But everybody these days seems to want to know about flavor and about nutrition. Well, flavor is hard to describe, but I can tell you that Parquet margarine, like all of Kraft's fine foods, has a quality flavor that's fresh and sweet and deliciously good. Yes, I think your very first taste will convince you that Parquet is a truly satisfying spread for bread and an appetizing seasoning for hot vegetables. You'll find that Parquet adds real flavor for home baking, too, and it's just about perfect for pan frying. As for nutrition, your government officially encourages the daily use of vitamin-fortified margarine, and Parquet margarine contains 9,000 units of vitamin A in every pound. What's more, Parquet is one of the best energy foods you can serve. So for a real red ration stamp value in flavor and nutrition, serve your family Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Let's join our friend, the Great Gildersleeve, who's daily becoming more aware of the fact that in only a couple of weeks he'll be a married man. And so, faced with the imminent prospect of a wedding, a honeymoon, and a life of bliss, we find him hastily putting his affairs in order. To start with, he's called a meeting of his entire staff in the office of the Water Department.
No, Bessie, I want all the chairs to face my chair. I'm going to be the chairman. Everybody faces me. You can sit here at your desk and take notes.
Yes, Mr. Commissioner.
Well, here comes Uncle Charlie. How's everything out at the reservoir, Charlie?
Morning, Commissioner. What's all this fiddle-faddle I get from that daffy girl about a meeting? Oh, hello there, sugar. I didn't see you.
My name is Miss Bard, and I'm not Daffy.
Okay, have it your way. But let's get at this meeting, Commissioner. I got work to do in my dad-busted pump engine.
Yeah, all right, Charlie. Just as soon as we're all here, we'll start.
Well, who are we waiting for? Don't tell me I got to sit and fan myself till Whiny Flynn gets here.
Charlie, Whiny Flynn is a member of our staff. He's our official troubleshooter.
Troubleshooter? Makes more trouble than he shoots. He can't get over the idea the way to fix a pipe is to crawl inside of it.
Yeah, but he can't.
Your dad hootin' he can't. He can't crawl in a 12-inch pipe any more than I can. Any more than you can, even.
Now, Charlie.
Trouble with him is he don't know it. Why, 2 years ago, before you was commissioner, I had to get up in the middle of the dad-busted night on account of Whiny got stuck halfway into a drain pipe.
How'd you get him out?
Had to cut him out with a blowtorch. He's been mad at me ever since.
Why was he mad?
Well, I burned a little teeny hole in his pants.
Well, maybe we shouldn't wait for Whiny. He went on a call to the mayor's house.
All right, then let's get down to cases. I can't bootle away the whole day.
It's all right, all right. The meeting will come to order. Now, I shall first state the purpose of this meeting. The purpose is to plan for my honeymoon.
That's all, brother. See you later.
Charlie, don't misunderstand me. I simply want things to run smoothly while I'm away, that's all. In other words, you and Bessie and Whiny will have to divide up my duties between you. You know what they are, don't you?
Well, let's see. The rain falls out of the heavens and runs into the reservoir. Then I see that it's purified and pumped into the mains. Then Whiny sees that it gets to the houses, and the girl here sees that the folks pay for it. Mr. Gildersleeve, I ask you, what in Tunket is a water commissioner?
Charlie, are you suggesting that I'm a parasite?
Parasite, my eye. You're a...
Never mind. Let's not get personal here, Charlie.
All right, let's wind up this spelling bee so I can get back to work. If I don't get some oil in that jalopy by 11:30, she's liable to blow a gasket.
Well, all right, Charlie. Just one thing first. I'm going to be married on June 27th, but I'll be back at my desk the 12th of July.
Well, then what's all the shooting for? We got lots of time.
Yes, but I want to be sure you'll all function perfectly while I'm away. So I'd like to have a trial period first, starting today.
And what do you mean, Mr. Gildersleeve?
For 1 week, we'll all pretend I'm not here, including me.
You mean you won't even come to the office?
Well, might make it more realistic. Do you understand the plan now, Charlie?
Oh, sure.
Okay. And the meeting is adjourned, and I'm gone for the week.
All right, so long, Commissioner.
Wait a minute, Charlie.
But what? I'm in a hurry, Dad. Busted?
Yeah, never mind. I just want to warn you to get out your Sunday suit and take it out of the mothballs, because on June 27th, I want you to come to my wedding.
Wedding? Who, me, Commissioner?
Yes, you old buzzard. I'll speak to Mrs. Ransom about it today.
Well, I'll be... Well, thanks. Mrs. Ransom, huh? She's the... whatchamacallit?
Yes, she's my fiancée, yes.
Dad, busted widows, knock over more good men. Well...
Yes? Bessie, I told you I'm not to be disturbed.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve...
You're on your own now, Bessie. Whatever comes up, just handle it in your own way. Don't come to me about it. We're pretending I'm not here. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ransom, but Mr. Gildersleeve is pretending he's not here.
Where? Leila, darling, come on in. Bessie, show her in.
Thank you. Oh, Throckmorton, I do hope you'll forgive me if I seem to monopolize you a little these days.
Forgive you? I love it. All right, Bessie, you may close the door. That's the use of being in love if you... No, Bessie, go out and close the door. That Bessie, I'm going to have to let her go.
I suppose you're frightfully busy, Throckmorton, but I just had to come down and see you.
I'm glad you did, Leila, because I got something for you.
For me?
Well, for the both of us, for after we're married.
Oh, darling, how exciting. Must I close my eyes?
No, it's nothing like that. As a matter of fact, this is sort of intended to open your eyes. It's a budget.
A budget?
Uh-huh. A budget for our household. It accounts for every penny. You see?
Oh, Throckmorton, you're such a practical man.
Well, you have to be practical some of the time, Leila. Now, sit down here and let me show you how I work this thing out.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're a darling, and I know it's a darling budget, but I'm just not in the mood right now for budgets and all. Do you mind?
We got to talk about it sometime.
Some other time, because right now I've got something much more important to discuss with you.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we've simply got to decide who you're going to have for your best man.
Well, that's all decided. I'm going to get Fibber McGee.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk with you about, Throckmorton. I know that you and Mr. McGee were very close.
Close? We were right at each other's throats for years.
But I wonder how it's going to sound in the society column.
What?
Well, Mrs. Ransom was attended by her sister, Mrs. Winfield Barrington Scott. Mr. Gildersleeve's best man was a Mr. Fibber McGee.
Well, what do you want him to do? Change his name?
Oh, I just thought it would sound so much more dignified if your best man were Judge Horace Hooker.
Hooker? Oh, that would be great. Mrs. Ransom was attended by her sister, Mrs. Scott. Mr. Gildersleeve was attended by an old goat.
Well, of course, if Mr. McGee is the only real friend you've got.
What do you mean, the only friend I've got? I've got plenty of friends, plenty.
Well, you said.
I don't have to have McGee if I don't want to.
But if you've already asked him.
I haven't asked him. I've got a good mind not to. McGee is just the kind of a guy who would come to your wedding and then make cracks. I can get married without McGee.
Oh, but who else could you get?
Plenty of people.
But who?
Well, there's Hooker.
Why not? Of course, I don't know if you could get him.
Could I get Hooker?
Oh, darling, you have the best ideas.
But Hooker was your idea.
I just suggested it. It was really your idea.
Oh. We can't fool around here forever. Things to be done here, decisions to be made, a wedding to be performed.
Oh, Throckmorton, there's one thing I'll say for you. You certainly have a mind of your own.
Yes, my dear. Sooner or later, you'll learn that that's the only way to get things done. Make a decision, any decision, but stick to it.
Yes, dear.
And speaking of that, young lady, I want you to sit down here now and go over this budget.
Oh, but I can't, Throckmorton. Not right now.
Right now. Right this minute.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go over it with you tonight.
Young woman, who is the master in this house?
Why, you are, Throckmorton, of course.
That's all I wanted to know. I'll see you tonight. Yeah, it's me.
I'm glad you're home, Unc. I'm all alone for lunch. Here, let me take your hat. There's going to be a fight at Doyle Stadium tonight, Unc. Buzz Bonanno versus Nosy Wendell. Do you think you'd like to go?
No, Leroy, and for the millionth time, you can't go either.
But why, Unc?
We've been over this thing before, young man. In the first place...
I got the money.
Oh, in the second place, you're too young and it keeps you up too late.
But I can sleep late tomorrow.
Leroy, the discussion is over.
Okay.
However, there's another matter I'd like to talk to you about before lunch. I trust it'll be a very pleasant talk.
Well, do we have to go in your study?
Oh, no, we can sit here.
Well, it might be pleasant at that.
Yes. Sit down, my boy, sit down.
Okay. Now, what's eating you?
I'm in a good temper, Leroy. Don't fool with it.
Oh, no, sir. Yes, sir.
You realize that on June 27th, Mrs. Ransom and I will be married?
Gee, that's right. It won't be long now.
I sincerely hope you approve of the step I'm taking.
Well...
We needn't go into it now. What I want to tell you is that after we're married, we're going to Lake Hackmatack for a couple of weeks.
Lake Hackmatack? Oh, boy, will we have fun.
Leroy.
What?
I don't like to disappoint you, but you're not going on my honeymoon.
You won't let me go to your honeymoon? You won't let me go to the fights? What an uncle.
I'm not going to discuss this any further. The purpose of the honeymoon is to enable Mrs. Ransom and myself to get better acquainted. Your presence will not help.
Okay. But she'll have to get acquainted with me sometime. Why not take care of all of us at once?
No, my boy. While I'm away with Mrs. Ransom, you'll have a much greater responsibility.
Yeah, what?
You'll be the man of the house, Leroy. You'll have to protect Marjorie and Bertie.
Can I have your pistol?
No.
Then how am I going to protect them? You won't let me have a gun. You won't let me go to the fights.
Leroy, it won't be necessary to protect the household physically. I simply want to rely on you, my boy, to be able to feel that everything is being done just as it would be if I were here.
Oh.
I'm trying to arrange all my affairs this way, at the office as well as the home. Can I count on you as head of the house?
I guess so, Unc. Starting when?
Starting right now. You're to handle everything and make your own decisions, just as if I weren't here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I've just made my first one.
What is it?
Bertie, we'll have supper early tonight, please. I've decided to go to the fight.
Leroy.
And, right now, I'll have a cigar.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. Meanwhile, I was talking to our neighborhood grocer the other day, as men sometimes do. I found out some mighty interesting things. I'd thought that a lot of customers might be blaming grocers for the nuisance of point rationing, for example. My grocer says that isn't so. According to him, most of you homemakers seem to know that point rationing is a bigger headache for him than for you. And he says it's amazing how cooperative you are, planning family menus in advance and trying to get most shopping done early in the week and early in the day. But he did say, I hope people won't blame me when favorite foods like parquet margarine aren't in stock. Kraft and other food companies are doing everything they can to keep me supplied, but what with wartime shortages and parquet's growing popularity, I'm sometimes temporarily short. Well, I'm passing that along to you just as I got it from my grocer. And that's about all I have to tell you, except to add, thanks for cooperating with your grocer. That's one very real way you're helping to win this war. Now let's rejoin the Great Gildersleeve. He spent a profitable but unpleasant afternoon paying bills and cleaning out clothes closets. But now, after a good big supper, he's returned to the task of preparing for his honeymoon. More specifically, he's checking over his camping equipment when Ben arrives to take Marjorie to the movies.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I see you're going fishing.
Yeah, that's right, my boy. Oiling up the old reel. Listen to this. Sweet, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah, look at this rod. Split bamboo, garnet guide rings. Just feel the play in it.
Yeah, boy, that's sweet.
And to think that a kid with a string and a bent pin can catch just as many fish.
Yeah. Who told you that, Leroy?
You did.
Well, don't you believe it. Ben, have you ever seen my shotgun?
No, I don't believe I ever have.
Can I look too, Unc?
Well, if you'll be careful. Just get this padlock here. There. Isn't that a beauty?
Boy, that really is.
It's double-barreled.
Yeah, I see it is.
Look at that chasing on the barrel, Ben. They don't make guns like this anymore.
Nope, not anymore. Oh, here's Marjorie.
Well, I'm all ready, Ben. Shall we...
Oh, Uncle Mort, what are you doing with that shotgun?
Huh? I'm getting ready for my honeymoon.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Is that what all this stuff is for, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, that's it, my boy. I'm going to have the finest honeymoon a man ever had. Wait till I tell you. Look, every morning up at 6 o'clock for a plunge in the lake. Get out and pile into a smoking breakfast.
Who cooked breakfast?
Mrs. Ransom. I mean, Leila. Then after breakfast, fishing. The darn lake is absolutely alive with fish, Ben. Just whistle and they jump right up in the boat.
Yeah, I bet.
As a matter of fact, it's great for trolling. We'll do a lot of trolling.
What is trolling anyhow, Unc?
Well, it's one of the finest forms of fishing there is, Leroy. I take my rod and I sit in one end of the boat with my line in the water, and the fellow at the other end rows the boat. Then I...
Wait a minute. Who's that fellow at the other end of the boat?
Well, he...
Where did he come from?
I guess we won't do any trolling. But the still fishing is just as good. Then we can hunt all afternoon. Rabbits and partridges. Oh, what a supper they'll make. Then after supper, we'll pitch horseshoes.
What?
Yes, sir. Got a whole setup. Yeah, I'm going to pack them in my bag right now. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it, Ben?
Yeah. Sounds like there'll be plenty going on.
Ben, come on, let's go to the movies.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve, could I... My goodness, what's all this truck on the floor?
Uncle Mort's getting ready for a track meet.
Huh?
Come on, Ben.
Good night.
Good night.
And imagine what's the matter with Marjorie. Oh, well, women.
What's that about women, Mr. Gildersleeve?
They're too deep for me, is all, Bertie.
Oh, yes, we're deep, all right. Could I go to movies with a friend tonight, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Certainly, Bertie, certainly.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Never mind.
Something you want me to do?
Well, no, but I was just showing Miss Marjorie all this stuff here, and I'm taking on my honeymoon, and she acted like there was as if there might be something wrong with it. Do you know what
I don't know anything, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I could make a suggestion.
What, Bertie?
You ought to leave that shotgun behind and take along your mandolin.
By George, you may be right, Bertie. Am I early, Leila?
Oh, not at all. Let me take your briefcase.
All right. Say, that's a lovely thing you're wearing there.
Do you really like it? I'm so glad. I was afraid maybe you'd be angry with Leila.
Yeah, why in the world should I be angry with you?
Well, you see, I opened an account today at Hogan Brothers, and I charged it.
Yeah, charged it?
Well, it's all right. They won't bill us for it till next month, and by that time we'll be married.
But, Leila...
There, you see, you are angry.
No, I'm not. I'm not angry, Leila. It's just... Well, you see, in this budget I've drawn up, you have a special allowance for clothes.
Have I?
Yes. Now, perhaps you'd better let me explain to you about it right now.
Yes, you do that, Throckmorton. You explain it to me.
Well, wait till I get the budget out of my briefcase.
Come over here and explain it to me, Throckmorton. You can spread it out here on the piano.
Well, you see, it's like this,
Sit
Leila.
down here on the bench beside me so I can see.
Yeah, all right. Now, here's the first heading, Savings and Reserves. Under that, we have life insurance, automobile insurance, fire insurance, federal income tax, state income tax. Leila, how can you keep your mind on what I'm saying and play the piano?
Go on, darling. My mind's on what you're saying.
Well, mine isn't. Look, if you'll just sit still and listen to me till I finish this, Leila, I'll give you a prize. I'll take you downtown afterwards and buy you an ice cream soda. What? That's my signal.
Oh, that must be Judge Hooker.
Oh, I might have known it.
Good evening, Judge.
Good evening, Leila. Now, I see you're not alone.
Leila, what is he doing here?
Well, it's about my income tax, Throckmorton. I asked the judge to help me with it.
What do you want to know? I can explain it just as well as he can.
That I doubt.
Yes, sir.
Well, I paid a quarter of my tax on March 15th, didn't I?
Yeah, that's right.
And it says in the paper that 3/4 of the tax is going to be forgiven.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now the judge tries to tell me I have to pay another installment by the 15th.
I'm sorry to say, Leila, that for once the old goat is right.
Are you going to side with him, too?
I'm not siding with anybody. I'm just telling you the facts.
Oh, well, I think the whole thing is silly. Why should I pay any more?
If you just listen to me, I'll tell you. Everybody has to pay an installment on his tax by the 15th, whether his tax was $5 or $5 million. Everybody. Is that clear?
Well, you don't make it a bit clear by shouting at me.
You're right, Leila. Gildy, allow a lawyer to explain it. The legal mind handles these things better, I think.
Legal mind.
Reason is often more effective than racket. Now, Leila, this installment on your tax, which falls due on the 15th, is to be applied not against last year's tax, but against this year's. Is that clear?
No, I think it's silly.
Well, you just can't brush it off by saying it's silly. Let's be reasonable about this now. Now, the tax you pay tomorrow is on your income this year. In other words, it's a step toward pay-as-you-go.
Pay-as-you-go, pay-as-you-went. The whole thing is just too complicated, Judge, for anybody to understand.
Well, that's because you won't try to understand.
And besides, I'll think it's silly.
Leila, I'm your attorney, am I not?
Of course, Horace.
And you trust me, don't you?
Yes, Horace, I trust you, of course.
And I've been telling you for 2 weeks that you have to pay this tax installment, haven't I?
Yes, but I don't understand
You don't have to understand. But if you want to keep out of trouble, just take my word for it and pay the tax. Pay it, pay it, pay it.
The legal mind.
I think I'll just leave you two boys to work this out between you. Now, Throckmorton, you explain to Horace about budgets, and Horace, you explain to Throckmorton about taxes, while I go upstairs and pat him on my nose.
What do you do with a woman like that, Horace?
Very simple, Gildy. Either you pay her tax tomorrow or you marry her in jail.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Peavy.
And Mrs. Ransom. Well, I guess it won't be long now before I'll be calling you Mrs. Gildersleeve.
Just 2 weeks.
Think of that.
Do you want to sit at the table, Leila, or would you rather have your soda at the fountain?
Oh, at the fountain is more fun, I think.
All right, climb up. You really don't deserve one, you know.
Oh, now, Throckmorton.
You don't. You didn't keep your promise.
What promise?
You know what promise. I sit up for 3 nights making up a budget, and you won't even look at it.
Oh, Throckmorton, please, not in front of Mr. Peavy.
Peavy, take my advice. Never have anything to do with women.
Well, that advice comes a little late, Mr. Gildersleeve. About 23 years, in fact. Chocolate soda, did you say?
Leila?
Yes, chocolate for me.
It's chocolate for both of us.
Chocolate it is.
You know, Peavy, you're a sensible man. Tell me, do you and Mrs. Peavy keep a budget?
Oh, now, Throckmorton, don't spoil our sodas.
But budgets are important, Leila. Aren't they, Peavy?
Yes. Mrs. Peavy and I have kept a budget for years.
You see? And you stuck to it, too, haven't you, Peavy?
Well, I wouldn't say that. But we tried.
Oh, but what good is a budget? It only makes you sigh it.
Oh, you tell her, Peavy. I've tried everything.
Well, you take Mrs. Peavy and myself. Without a budget, we could go broke and never know it. But this way, we know it.
Well, that seems to me a very good reason not to keep one.
Well, a budget has other uses. Now, for example, I can take out my budget for 1923. That was the year we drove to Old Point Comfort.
You save them that far back?
I've kept a record of every cent I've ever spent. And I can look up there under August 18th, 1923, and see that on the morning we started out, I bought 4 quarts of oil at 38 cents a quart. A little farther on, I spent $1.50 to get a blowout repaired, and then so much for lunch, and in the afternoon, 10 gallons of gasoline and another quart of oil. It brings back memories.
Well, that's been going on for 23 years, and Mrs. Peavy has never complained?
Well, no, I wouldn't say. Yes, I will, too. As long as we've been married, I've never known Mrs. Peavy to do any real complaining.
You see, Leila, people can be happy on a budget.
Tell me, Mr. Peavy, what's it like to be married 23 years?
Well, it's pretty nice. By that time, you and your wife have gone a lot of places together, and you've learned to like the same things, and you have a lot of little private jokes, and it's kind of restful and nice. Of course, I've been fortunate. Mrs. Peavy is 1 in a million. I don't believe she's ever had a thought for herself, or for anyone but me.
That's the way it should be, Peavy. That's the way it should be.
Throckmorton, I'd like to go now, if you don't mind.
But, Leila, you haven't touched your soda.
I know. I really don't care for it. Do you mind?
Of course not, darling. If you don't feel like it, I'll just finish mine. Now we'll go. Well, thanks, Peavy.
Oh, thank you.
Good night.
Good night, folks, and good luck.
Good night, Mr. Peavy. It was a lovely soda. I just...
That's all right, Mrs. Ransom. Good night.
Oh, brother, what a night. Isn't it beautiful, Leila? Look at those stars. By George, you could almost touch them. The night was made for love. The night was made for... Leila, what's the matter?
Oh, Throckmorton, I'm so ashamed.
Ashamed? Ashamed of what?
I haven't been very nice to you. I really haven't. I've been selfish.
Oh, no, you haven't.
I have. When you've worked so hard to please me, too.
Oh, Leila, you mustn't be sad. Not on a beautiful romantic evening like this. Look at all the pretty stars. You see? They're winking at you. Go on, little stars. Wink at Leila.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're sweet.
Huh?
And from now on, I'm going to try to be a different girl. I truly am. From now on, I'm going to be nice to you and just do everything you say.
From now on?
From now on.
Beginning right now?
Beginning right now.
Yeah. Come here, young lady.
No, Throckmorton, before we do another thing, you and I are going to go home and go over that budget.
What?
Come on.
Leila, wait a minute. Can't you take a joke? Hang the budget. Leila! Hello, Judge.
Going somewhere?
Just down to the corner to mail a letter. Leila's income tax.
I'll walk down with you.
Thanks. By the way, Horace.
Yes, Gildy?
Are you doing anything the 27th?
Not that I know of. Why, are you?
Getting married.
Oh, 27, huh?
Yeah.
It's not far off, is it?
14 days.
14 days.
Horace.
Yes, Gildy?
You wouldn't want to be my best man, would you?
Gildy, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
What do you mean?
If you ask me, this is one case where the best man does win.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to listen again next Sunday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
This summer, thousands of women all over the country are discovering a special help with wartime meals in the product called Kraft Dinner. A box of Kraft Dinner gives them enough delicious macaroni and cheese for 4 people at a very few cents a serving, and only one single red ration point for the whole dish. And with Kraft Dinner, they cook that delicious main dish in just 7 minutes. In every Kraft Dinner box, there's a special macaroni that cooks fluffy, tender in boiling water and an envelope of Kraft grated. With this handy Kraft grated, you whisk cheese goodness through and through the fluffy macaroni in a jiffy. A very smart trick is to shape the hot Kraft Dinner in a ring mold for a minute or two, unmold on a platter, and serve with creamed vegetables or fish or meat. But just as is, Kraft Dinner gives you a mighty fine dish. Try this 7-minute macaroni and cheese soon. At your food store, be on the alert for point-saving Kraft Dinner. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.